Hello, welcome to Crafters TV, welcome to Best Of. The best of the recent deals we brought you, the best of the crafty inspiration, even some of the best goings on and accidents that happen here at Crafters TV. It has been an action-packed last week or so. I hope you're having a fabulous weekend. I hope you haven't eaten too much chocolate, as I know you probably have, let's face it. One or two hot cross buns floating around the living room, no doubt as well. Now, before we get into our first segment of the show, don't forget, over on the website, if you are watching and shopping along at the same time, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu, you can filter the best of show so you find the exact bit that you are after. Let's cast our minds back to Monday when I was in the studio with Leanne and we got all things inky.
What is a pigment ink pad? An opaque pigment ink pad. Well, let me tell you the difference between this and a regular, and your Harmony water reactive, for example. So a Harmony water reactive is an ink that stays wet and you can do all of your watercolouring with it. It's translucent. A pigment ink pad is, and a Harmony water reactive is made with a man-made dye, which means it's liquid and it's translucent. An opaque pigment ink pad is made with natural pigments, which are minerals from nature ground to make colour, and that is why they're opaque. So that means you cannot see through them. It's solid colour, it's not transparent, and it also means that it needs a much more sticky binder to be able to get that pigment to stay in the pad. So with your pigment ink pad, you've got a lovely open sponge, it's very sticky, and you've got that natural pigment in there, which means that it won't fade in light as a man-made dye would. So pigments are used usually in fine art. So that's what the difference is there. Now this is sticky, so you can do all of the sticky techniques that you would want to with it, like all of your heat embossing, and we will be doing a lot of that. But firstly, what I want to do is show you what I mean by beautiful opaque colour, and this is about changing something white into something which is completely different, and it allows you to dye your cardstock. So I've got here a piece of Nina, I've got a couple of pieces of repositionable tape here, and I'm just going to lie these down gently on my card, and you'll see why in a second. What I have done is this, and I've took a lot of the sticky off, because even though it's repositionable, there is still quite a bit of sticky on there to keep your dyes still and your metal still when you're putting it through your Gemini. And for this technique, you don't want it to be too sticky. So when you pull it off, make sure you do that just to remove it. I'm going to mask off a small area on this card, and then I'm going to use my daubers. Now, if you haven't got these little daubers, then what you can use is these eggs. This is the perfect consistency and squidginess for applying your pigment ink to your card. So little daubers if you have them, and if you don't, I'm sure we've got the eggs on the show, so you'll be able to get those. There you go. So first things first, what we're going to do is start with the yellow. I'm going to pounce my yellow dauber into here, and then I'm going to pounce it onto my cardstock. And so you can see that I've started with a piece of white cardstock, and I'm just pouncing this on here. Because it's wet and sticky, it starts to dye that cardstock for you. And also because it's wet and sticky, you will be able to blend between other colours. So I'll pick up a new dauber in a second. This is just the yellow one. So what I'm doing is actually dyeing that cardstock so it looks to be a completely different colour to what I started with. So there we go, that's the yellow. Then I'm going to take my orange dauber, and you do want a dauber, a different dauber for every colour. That's really important. I'll daub this down, so I'm going from yellow through to orange, and then I'm going to go through to the red. And I've got an example of that down here for you, so you can see why this is really good. Now, if we were trying to do this with Harmony Water Reactive, this is a piece of very smooth cardstock, not watercolour. This is actually Nina. And your Harmony Water Reactives would grab on this and not move. So if you're wanting to do this kind of ombre effect on different types of smooth cardstock, not watercolour, then your pigment ink pads are absolutely perfect for this. And you see, now I'm just daubing on the red. And I'm just doing this in the three colours. I'll show you how I'm going to get it to blend in a second. We're just getting the colour down for now. So you see, I dip it in, and then I push it, I pounce it onto the card, which pushes that colour into the fibres of that smooth cardstock, and it dyes it from being a regular white cardstock into this orange, yellow and red. Now to blend, what I would do is take the dauber that has the orange, and then I would just gently, so before I was pouncing a lot, now I'm just gently tickling. So it's just a little bit, can you see there? I haven't put any more ink on it, but now instead of pushing it in, I'm just gently tapping, and that's allowed me to take that orange through down into the yellow in a lovely smooth transition. I would do the same with the red here through to the orange. So instead of dipping it in and pouncing hard, pushing, I just very gently tickle. So I'm just very gently tapping, and that will blend because this ink stays wet for a long time. It's a very sticky, tacky ink, which is great for lots of techniques, as you'll see as we go through this masterclass. And I just tickle it along here, and that takes the transition from the red all the way down into the orange there and gets me that lovely smooth transition between the colours. Now to remove, let me just put my lids on because you know what will happen, I'll get my finger or my elbow into it because I'm a mucky crafter. To remove your repositionable tape, here's my top tip. Don't take it and whip it up like that, like a plaster. You're going to take it and you're going to push it down flat on your card and pull it back just gently, and that'll pull it away and leave your cardstock intact for you. There we go, and you don't want it to rip the surface of your card either. So just pull it back. Make sure you take plenty of sticky off it before you do. You see I'm pulling that parallel with the card, and that's just taking that off. And what that's done is give me a lovely dyed finish to my card. So I've got that beautiful ombre panel on there. There you go. Look how gorgeous that is. Now, that's still wet at the moment because it's a very sticky ink. If I just want to keep that nice and flat and dry as these are. So here's an example of where I've done that. Here's another example of where I've done it. See, I've managed to dye a lovely panel of cardstock there. Here's another one where I've done it with 3 different colours and I've just let it dry. You could dry it with a heat gun, and all you've done is managed to dye your smooth cardstock with that lovely, opaque, vibrant, solid colour. If you want to make this glossy, because it's wet and it stays wet for a while, you could put your heat embossing powder on here now if you wanted to and have a beautiful glossy panel. And in fact, I can do that if you like. Would you like to see that? Just
while you're doing that, Leanne, Cynthia has asked, what cardstock or stocks do you recommend for these inks?
So I would, do you know what? I don't have a recommendation because they work on everything.
Okay.
So you're going to see me use them today on coloured card, on smooth white card, on watercolour card, on black card. You're going to see me use it on vellum, on acetate. There is so many. These are the most versatile ink pad in that there isn't a particular cardstock where I say you have to have that cardstock for these.
Okay.
Where I will say that for Harmony Water Reactive. And I do say that a lot of the time with the quick dry. Whereas with these, it really isn't the case. You can use it on many different types.
Wonderful. We've got the Nina on the show, so if you want to go for that, then absolutely you can. Loads of people saying they love these. Leanne, Anne in Reno saying that she loves these. Suzette saying she loves them for heat embossing as well. And Sandy said that she used these with you at Craftaganza.
Yes, I did a whole class on these at Craftaganza and all of the ladies loved them. And actually the ink pads went mad at Craftaganza because everyone was like, oh, I hadn't realised how versatile they are and how many different things I can do with them. And so it went a little bit crazy at Craftaganza for the pigment ink pads. But it really is all of these different techniques that you can do. So you see there, what I've managed to do is now heat emboss that, and I've got a lovely shiny, there you go, it's just catching the light, look at that, a lovely enamelled panel on my card, and it looks like true enamelling because the ink stays sticky. And so I've been able to put my clear heat embossing powder on that and get that lovely, lovely panel on there. So what we're going to do here is I've got, and these are some of the fabulous stamps that launched at the same time as the ink pads launched, and all of these stamps have been created specifically for pigment techniques. And you'll see that as I'm going through because these are the ones I'll use all the time. So I'm taking a frame and I've got my 6x6 stamping panel here, stamping platform, I beg your pardon. I'm going to pop my frame on there, and then I'm going to get my black pigment ink pad, Where is it down? Come to me black. Here it is. It can be any colour. It doesn't have to be black. I'm just using this to show you what I'm doing, and then you'll be able to see it very obviously. This could be a nice navy blue, could be a really dark red, really doesn't matter. So that's a nice sticky ink on there, and I'm going to stamp that frame. There we go. Look at the crisp lines as well. So for all these are a pigment ink pad, and actually you might have used pigment ink pads in the past and been disappointed because the lines have been really thick and gloopy. The formulation in these pigment ink pads is proprietary to Crafter's Companion and to Spectrum Noir, which means you can be very confident that the pigment ink you get will give you these beautiful, fine, crisp lines where you're not getting horrible, thick, gloopy images and losing the detail that you would traditionally expect to lose when you're using a pigment ink pad to stamp. So you're seeing that I stamped that, and then I put clear embossing powder on it, and I stamped again.
If you want to
heated again, I beg your pardon. Sorry, Joe.
That's all right. If you want to grab those stamps, they are on your screen now. £38. It actually gets you 6 different stamp sets, 95 stamps in total. They should be £9.99 and £14.95 individually. So the price on your screen is absolutely fantastic. Keep commenting along. Don't forget, if you've got any projects that you've done with these ink pads, we'd love you to share them with us via email. Send us pics. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk is where you send those.
Right, so I'm doing another one of these, and it'll become obvious why in a second. So I'm popping my frame, another one on there, and then I'm going to grab a sentiment, and I want to show you why I love these stamping platforms so much. I'm just grabbing a bit of my kitchen towel, so I want to clean that off there. Move that to the side, and because these are lovely and sticky, I don't have to worry about this drying too quickly and not being able to heat emboss it, because it will keep its stickiness for a good amount of time. So I'm going to find a nice little sentiment, and I'm going to use just a note because it's at the bottom there and it's easy to find. Right, so now what I'm going to do, I want to put just a note in the middle of this frame. So what I'm going to do is take my stamp, line it up into the frame, just knock it along so I can see that's where I want it to be. There we go. Then I can put my stamping platform over the top, and I'm lining it up onto a corner there so I can see where I would need to put it in the right place. Pick that up, and now I can ink it, and I'll be able to get my sentiment right in the middle of that frame, no problem at all. So I'm just lots of light tapping. And then I'm using the crosshair again on my platform to line it up with where I had it on the corner of my frame. And because I did that, and because I've got our stamping platform, what I can do now is get my just a note lined up perfectly into the centre of that lovely frame. Okay, just give that a little clean. We'll come back to that in a second. Now what I'm going to do is heat emboss both of these. There's my little frame that was heat embossed before. Look at that, I'm such a mucky crafter. I put it to the side. There we go. So I just use my clear embossing powder in a cereal bowl, as you can see here, with a cereal spoon, and I like a nice wide one, because what that allows me to do is not have to worry about having bits of spare paper lying around and tapping it off and getting it back into the jar. I can worry about that later. I can just get my powder on quickly and enjoy the craft, which is what we're all about at the end of the day. And then I'm going to heat emboss this one. Now what I'm going to be doing next is creating a faux enamelled tile, and when you see this you're going to be blown away. The texture that you can add to your cards with this, the technique, the real wow impact is phenomenal. So I'm just heating this up again. You can see you've got that there. Have that all heated up, a little bit extra there. There we go. So that's all enamelled beautifully now. And then what I'm going to do is take my scissors and cut this out. Now you might wonder why I bothered to heat emboss this bit when I'm going to cut it out. It's because the ink stays really wet and sticky. If I hadn't have embossed that whole frame, when I'm doing this now and when I come to do the next bit, which is blend some ink over the top, what would have happened is that black ink would have smudged all over this little square tile that I want, and it would have looked awful. So to stop that happening, so you can have keep your technique and keep your piece lovely and clean, just heat emboss it all in one go, as I've done there, and then cut it out, and it's not going to make a mess. Right, what colours should we use now, Joe? Do you think we should do some pink, some blue, some seafoam? Have you got some, what colour? You tell me a colour you've got over there that you like.
Fuchsia?
Fuchsia.
And also, how about parakeet or baby blue?
Fuchsia and baby blue, right? I've got both of those.
Lovely.
We can do that. Oh, actually, no, Joe, you're good. I'm going to let you pick colours more often. Oh, look at you with your baby blue and your fuchsia. Looks gorgeous. Right, so the first thing we want to do is with our baby blue, we're going to pop that in the centre. If I had not have heat embossed this to start, when I now go over the top here, this would have been smudging all over the place because it would have stayed wet. So it's really important to do this little bit of heat emboss first. So I'm daubing again, exactly as I did before, picking up the baby blue on my dauber, and then I'm dabbing over the top. And don't worry about the fact that it's muting out my colour here. You'll see that in a second, how I managed to fix that with a piece of kitchen towel. So I'm just putting the blue colour in the centre. There we go. Blue colour in the centre. That lovely baby blue. And then we've got our fuchsia here. So I've got my fuchsia dauber. And I'm going to go around the outside with my fuchsia.
Some questions coming in.
Yeah.
Sandy says she noticed that you're not using the stamping mat. Do we need to with these pigment inks?
Right, so the stamping mat, the purple stamping mat, is not about the ink pad that you're using. It's about the stamps and whether you can get a good impression on a hard surface. So actually you could use your stamping mat with these at all, but it's not the ink that makes a difference, it's the stamp and how big the stamp is. So because these are quite small stamps that I'm working with, I don't really need it. But that's not to say that you couldn't use it if you wanted to. It just depends on whether you're using a big image and you're struggling to get a nice clean impression. Does that make sense?
Yep, that makes total sense. Also, Donna's saying, when should you emboss from the back and when should you heat emboss from the front? What is there a sort of rule of thumb?
That is a brilliant question, and you can just please yourself depending on what you want to do. And actually, what I will do for you is explain what happens when you heat from the front, heat from the back. I'll do that actually, I'll demonstrate it. I'll stamp two things and we'll have a look at the difference. Right, awesome. So you'll notice there what I did was I just cleaned off my just a note after I put my ink over the top, so now I can see it again, and I've used those two lovely colours. Now what I'm going to do is ink up my whole panel, and I'm going to do it several times. So I've got embossing powder onto that whole blended background, like I did with the little panel on my card earlier. I've got my heat gun. I need a longer wire on my heat gun. I've pulled it out. Oh, see, I yanked it with the wire and I've pulled it out. Bear with while I put it back on. Honestly.
Just go through a few comments whilst you're doing that, Leanne. Jan in Italy, she owns these and loves them. Wendy in Chesterfield says, love these. Melanie in the US has the whole collection as well. And I can see Carol from the High Peak in Derbyshire, she has the full set and loves them too. So there's a lot of love for these in the comments. I'd love to see some of your projects though. If you've been using these, pop them to our inbox studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk and we'll go and take a look at some of those lovely pictures a little bit later in the show, hopefully. Are you plugged in now, Chivs?
Right, I'm doing it now. So I've found them. I've plugged it back in, I've got it again. Now while it's still warm, you put another layer of powder straight on, because while the powder's still warm, it remains sticky. So work quickly when it comes to that bit. Do not leave it lying around, because as it dries, it loses its stickiness. So heat it up. When it's melted, it's still sticky, pop another layer of powder on, and then heat that up.
So can you just, this is a question from me now, Leanne, can you just keep layering it up, the embossing powder? Will it get to a point where it won't work anymore, or can you just keep going?
So it will get to a point where you can't really make any more difference.
Okay.
I would say that's about 3 to 4 layers. I mean, it's already looking good here, just with 2 layers, but I'm putting this extra layer on top now. So what we're getting is a faux enamel effect. It's like a glossy tile. And it looks really impactful and beautiful. Wait till you actually see the results. So this is the 3rd layer that I'm putting on here. And you'll see that just a note sentiment now is really obvious, where when I daubed over it before and I had the pale blue ink on, you might have thought, oh, you're not going to be able to read that sentiment. But by adding on your extra layers, by cleaning it off with your kitchen towel and then adding your extra layers of embossing powder on there, it becomes really obvious again. Now what I want to do is just pick this up and waggle it at you, because what you should look at that. Look at that glossy tile we've been able to create using that, which is truly beautiful, isn't it? I'm going to stick it onto the top of here. So you see I had the bottom of the frame there, and then if I just put a couple of bits of my glue gel in here, there we go. And I'm not bothering to make finished cards for you in this masterclass. I'm just wanting to show you all of the techniques. Now I can line that up. It matches with the frame underneath because we stamped that twice and we cut the centre out. And then I've got a little card down here with you to show you that. Here we go. Look how beautiful that looks with that lovely faux enamelled glossy tile in the centre. All manageable, all able to be done because of the quality of those pigment ink pads. And then this is what it looks like when you pop it on a little card. Looks gorgeous, doesn't it? And here's another one in a different colour, look. You can see how glorious they look. And really, really shiny.
I want to show you as well this stamp collection that we've got for you on the show. So what you've got here is a really wonderful collection. You've got in here 6 different stamp sets. They should be $9.99 each ordinarily, but not today. So you've got Floral Fusion. You also have Essential Sentiments. There is your Ornate Swirls. You've also got there Summer Garden. Oh, I'm all fingers and thumbs today, aren't I? Floral Arrangements, and also then the last one there is your Frame Sentiments as well.
Now, one of the things I've got to show you here is we're going to get a bit Harry Potter now. Yeah, we're going to get a bit Harry Potter. So I've got a stencil here. And actually this one is one of my very favourites, and it's from the Sarah Crafty Fun range, which I love, and it's got a really lovely kind of Moroccan trellis feel to it, which I think is glorious. And we're getting back to choosing colours again, Joe. So did we dare trust Joe with choosing some colours, folks?
How many colours do we want?
Well, 3, up to 3.
Do they have to be similar ones? Or?
Well, they would have to work together.
Oh, now you're asking. I need that colour wheel out of the compendium, don't I? That's what I need.
Yeah.
So how about then, should we go a bit sort of rusticy? How about Friar Brown with the Bordeaux and the Sandstorm?
Sandstorm. I like Sandstorm and Friar Brown. I think that's good.
Not Bordeaux though.
No, I think that's a bit red.
Oh, something sort of pastel-y?
Well, how about something green?
Okay, Spring Meadow?
Spring Meadow. Oh, have you got Grasshopper?
We have got Grasshopper, yeah.
Should we use a bit of Grasshopper?
Yeah,
Yes, let's do that. Okay, so we're going a bit more grungy look with this one. Let's do that. I think that's really lovely. Now, just before I do that, you see I've been using my clear embossing powder, haven't I, in my dish. You've seen me doing that all the time with my spoon. This is where we get Harry Potter. Whatever you do not spend a fortune on glitter embossing powder. This is regular, reasonable clear embossing powder in my dish. And then actually this is my pot of crystal glitter from my compendium. And it's a huge pot of crystal glitter. So what I can do is add some of this into my embossing powder and then give it a little mix. And what I've created is my own glitter embossing powder by doing that. So you can be your own alchemist at home, and you can create your own embossing powders by putting whatever colour glitter you want into that clear, and you're going to get that lovely glittery interference. And then what I do is I just keep an old jam jar or a little like a dressing pot or something like that, and then I put this back in at the end, and I've made my clear embossing powder myself. So don't spend a fortune on it, you don't need to. I wanted to show you that. Okay, so now we're going to use these 3 colours here. So we'll start with, I think we'll start with Friar Brown, move into Grasshopper, and then into Sandstorm. We'll see what it looks like. And if it doesn't look very good, it's Joe's fault. Okay, so we're going to do exactly as we did before. Notice I'm using my eggs and I'm pouncing this on to my piece of cardstock underneath through my stencil. And when I'm doing a big stencil like this, I do like to use the eggs rather than the daubers, because I can cover a lot more space more quickly, as you can see here. Okay, so I've already covered in a matter of 5 seconds a third of that stencil with my Fryer Brown, and I am going to heat emboss it, so I'm just making sure that I'm getting a good coverage of ink down there. So then I'm going to come in with my grasshopper now. I'm going to go over with the grasshopper. Actually, do you know what this is? This is out of my comfort zone, Joe. I wouldn't normally pick colours like this grungy. I normally go for like the fuchsias and yellows and parakeets, like the real rainbow colours are usually what I would go for. So it's nice to try something out of your comfort zone every now and again. Maybe just get somebody in the family to pick colours for you rather than just go into the colours you like, because I do tend to gravitate to my favourite colours and not go out of my comfort zone.
Let us know in the comments what colours you'd like to see. You've got 29 to choose from, so pop into the Facebook Live, let us know what colours you would like, and then when they don't go together, it'll be your fault and not mine, which I'm okay with.
Now notice what I'm doing just to get the little transition between the green and the brown is I'm just tickling over with the green one, and I've got that nice smooth blend between the two now. And then the final colour is the Sandstorm, isn't it? And we're going to put that on the end down here. Oh, no, see, do you know what? I think you've done a good job here, Joe. I'm liking this.
Fabulous.
Yeah, it looks lovely.
But I guess the thing is, with the techniques as well, and doing it in like the fuchsia and the baby blue and something else would give you a completely different look and feel, wouldn't it? Completely.
And you know what? You might be a crafter who doesn't like to do all of the bright, girly, floral colours, which are the ones I usually gravitate to. You might like to do things a little more grungy or muted. And actually, it's nice to see this, to see that the products that you've got and the colours that you naturally prefer will work with all of the techniques in exactly the same way. So I've done from Fryer Brown through to Grasshopper with a little bit of Sandstorm on the end, through that stencil. Did you notice that I I sprayed the back of my stencil with my stick and spray. Oh, Joe, look at that.
Oh, lovely.
Wowzers. That looks amazing. Look at those 3 colours. I would never have done that. It looks fantastic.
Could you, if you wanted to, this is just me thinking out loud. Okay. Would you, if it's dry, when it's dry, could you put the sparkle pen, the clear overlay over these ink pads?
Well, wait till you see what I've done here. So, I'm one step ahead of you. Can you remember just like a minute ago when I said to mix your glitter in your powder? Look at this. Can you see it on there? Can you see it already? Look. So imagine making these backgrounds with your stencils yourself and with this homemade glitter embossing powder. So you see I've sprinkled that all over that background. Now we're going to heat it. Wait till you see this. Oh my word, yeah. So Johnny, our producer's saying it's like earth tones. It's exactly what it's like.
Do you know what we used to, fun games, so because I'm not very cultured yet, I don't know if you've worked it out yet. What we used to do is when I lived in Manchester, we'd go to the Manchester Art Gallery, and we would obviously go and look at the paintings, the lovely Lowry paintings, all those kind of things. But our favourite game was actually, it was sponsored by a well-known paint brand. You know the one that everyone loves in the UK that has the funny names for the colours. So we used to spend most of our time going around each room and laughing at what the paint names were called. One of my favourites is Elephant's Breath. One of the colours
was Elephant Breath. I think it was one of those, that particular brand, it was called Mouseback.
Mouseback?
Yeah.
We used to find it so amusing, going every room had a little plaque by the door to say what colour had been donated by the paint range. This is hours of fun going on the gallery.
Now this is nearly all melted now, if that's the technical term. So it looks beautifully enamelled. So you've got your heat embossing powder on there. You've got that beautiful blended ombre between the 3. Because it's a pigment ink pad, it stayed sticky. I've heated that, and remember I did my little mixing of my glitter embossing powder in there, and then look, can you see, look at that. Oh my word, gorgeous. Joe, I'm going to put this on the end of my desk for you again, so you can show everybody on your camera, because you're going to be blown away by that, Joe. You're going to be blown away.
Like the glitter's going like the same colour as the colours underneath.
Isn't that amazing?
Oh,
look.
Let's show you. Look at this.
Look. Oh, look at that. that. I feel like you need angels and trumpets in a fanfare, a confetti cannon, Joe, a confetti cannon. How amazing is that? Look at the smooth blend between those three colours. That's a full background for a card now. Just a lovely sentiment on there. How beautiful is that?
I think, as Yolanda was saying, it would make a great sentiment for a masculine card, as which some of you I know struggle with. Nicole saying that is stunning. Helena saying she's going to get her stencils out today and have a play.
Yes.
Which is fantastic. Carol also says, I love using the stencils in that way. Sometimes do things like texture paste with that as well, which is lovely. Hannah is also saying that she's got a southern accent. She lives in Cumbria and people think that she's posh too. And Carol saying that she jumped in first thing and got the bell, so no one is beating her. I'm quite it's a bit scary, me pointing with that pen, isn't it? A bit teachery. I don't know why. Let's pack that away before I get in trouble. Carol saying she bought the bells first thing, so no one is going to let her miss out on those items in the craft vault. So make sure you get to those. Rennie loving all of these extra early morning shows, saying she loves waking up with us in the morning. Jan in Italy saying that she has got a parcel. It's waiting for her to pick it up at the hotel. So she is very, very happy this morning. Very, very busy this morning on the 29 piece Inkpad collection, as I knew that it would be. Let me just share with you again a few of these samples that Leanne picked out for me this morning, just because these were the ones I know she absolutely loves. And it just gives you an idea of just how versatile these ink pads are, that you can create so many different things that look so different from one ink pad. And I think that's what we want in our crafty stashes, isn't it? We want one product that's going to enable us to do so many types of crafting, so many different techniques, and this really is fabulous. And I think stamping is definitely one of those things. I think stamping is so incredibly versatile, but when you have ink pads that are also equally as versatile, the possibilities really are endless. Shall I quickly run you through the colours that are in the 29 piece collection? I'll just pick a few out. So Ocean Blues in here, Sandstorm, Damson Wine, Plum Jam, Green Topaz, Bordeaux, Chinese Red, Pumice, Anthracite. You've got 29 different colours within there. You think about all of the colour combinations that you're going to be able to put together using those. And what's great is when you're using these ink pads to craft with, you're never going to be in a position with this comprehensive bundle where you think, oh, I wish I just had that sort of colour so I could blend it with this colour to get this effect that I want. This has been specifically put together by Leanne to give you the highlights that you need from this range to achieve the most amount of results that you possibly can. It's why it's so busy. You're saving over £44 in the UK, you're saving over $60 here in the US. Lovely as ever to have Leanne on the show. She'll be back with us a little bit later. Now, if you want to watch and shop at the same time, of course you can do that over on our website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu. And whilst you're on the website, if you want to watch back any of the whole shows, rather than the segments are in the best of, they all live there pretty much forever. So you can always go and catch up on the great deals, as well as all the inspiration that is there for you too. Now, if we cast our minds back to Tuesday, I was joined in the studio by Sarah, and there were beautiful butterflies in the air, and also we discovered something new. Take a look. I really want to share with you the details of the Nature's Garden Butterfly complete collection. Now, I'm going to guide you through the whole thing. I know maybe a lot of you might have seen it on Create and Craft at the weekend and you missed out when it sold out. The shows were so exceptionally busy. We ring-fenced a little bit of stock to be able to bring you here at Crafters TV, but we've had to work really hard, especially on certain elements of this, to be able to put the show together and bring it to you. I know a lot of you want to jump in and order right away. The best way to get the best value is to order the complete collection, because you're going to save £21 in the UK. You're actually saving $71 if you're shopping in the US. Let's go through. Let's start off with this, the Statement Butterfly. Now, you can get the elements individually. Of course, the best way to get the best value is in the main collection, but I don't know how long this one will hang around for, because it is really special. Those three huge Statement Butterflies. The great thing about them as well is that they are three different types and styles, so you can use them separately as three individual individual dies, or what you can do is then layer them up to create this beautiful stackable die cut element that you've got there. That is absolutely fantastic. Now, I know what else is going to be super busy for you as well. The 12 by 12 paper pads. These are always so incredibly busy in the Nature's Garden collection. What you've got here is 50 sheets and it is double-sided. You've got some planes, you've got some patterns, you've got some backgrounds, you've got some bits that maybe you're going to be able to fussy cut out of here and create things like corners and flourishes and frames. It is all in this gorgeous floral design, which is just beautiful. Double-sided means you can roll it back, you can do lots of different techniques with it as well. So you've got that included there too. And you've also got die cut elements within the back of there too, which are going to work beautifully with the rest of the collection. So that is your 12 by 12 paper pad, 180 GSM, 50 sheets total in that one. Now, the next one we're going to look at is the intricate floral border. Now, this is a really clever die because you can use it, as you can see, just to cut this once and cut one element. But look at how you can continue that. So you can make that as long as you want. You could actually put that around something like a bottle or a gift. You could use it as a wrap die. It's in the collection for you. Now, this next one I love. This is the Rose Bloom, and this is going to allow you to create these really beautiful floral focal points for your card. So you can see here stamping that up. Think about stamping that up in lots of different colors as well. You've got the stamp itself, you've got the outside edge die that's going to allow you to cut away that beautiful stamped image as well. Very, very busy for that. The next one we have for you is the intricate lace frame, as you can see here. So again, you're going to be able to cut out this beautiful frame there. So intricate, so detailed within that collection. We've got some stamps for you up next. This one here is the Just to Say, and this is all of your different sentiments that you might need within this one. I'll bring that a little bit closer for you so you can see some of those sentiments there, but you've got all of them. There's lots in that collection. You've actually got 21 stamps within there, which is brilliant. Now, it's butterfly a go-go in this collection, which I love because we've got even more butterflies for you here. This one is the Butterfly Dreams, and this is very much a similar concept to the rose that we showed you, but in that butterfly design instead. Again, you're getting that included within the collection. And then finally, one more element for you, and it's the intricate trellis that you've got just there, and you've got loads of different ways of using that. Don't forget, you're also going to get as well that fabulous embossing folder included in there too. Now, the embossing folder is so popular, I'm going to let Sarah run you through that instead. So I'll hand over to Sarah just to say 50 bonus points if you're going for this as a main collection. You're going to get the extra strong tape pen included as well. If you did want to cherry pick, anyone that's spending over £30 or $40, you will also get 10% off. And if you go for the whole thing, those 50 bonus points are yours as well. Sarah, why do you think this was so popular when we launched it over the weekend?
You guys just loved it, and come on, it's butterflies, Joe. We're all a bit butterfly obsessed, but have a look at some of these cards. The thing is, a butterfly can say happy birthday. It can say lots of love. By the way, this is that 3D embossing folder that Joe just said I was so passionate about. This is it with embossing powder in the folder. How gorgeous does it look with a little bit of inking around the butterfly? Or this is it in the pink. I just love, I'm going to demo with that embossing folder in just a little while, but for me, it's been all about that statement butterfly. I mean, this one here, if I get this really close, can you see how fabulous? This is vellum on the end. And then behind the vellum, we've actually put glitter card and then a little bit of vellum on the background again because it's 3 layers in the butterfly. Now I'm going to show you this one and demonstrate with it, but how absolutely gorgeous, right? Now, as I was saying, George, you're looking at a lot of these cards. They would work for thinking of you, sympathy, best wishes, just to say, with love. Oh, I've got a cracking one for you as well, Joe. So we received a card in the post yesterday from a friend of mine in Holland, Christine, who's an avid card maker. Do you know what the card was for? Happy 12 and a half year anniversary.
And it is my 12.5-year anniversary. I think Christine was just looking for an excuse to make and send a card. And I think, do you know what? I absolutely love that. Just a reason to send someone a card and tell them you're thinking of them. A butterfly will absolutely do that anytime. Oh, that's that embossing folder. That, oh, Joe, can we just take a moment to absolutely appreciate how beautiful that embossing folder is? Wait till I show you the demo with that. Now the folder, you know that gorgeous border die as well. Let me show you this one on the overhead, right? That border die is, because it's only a 6-inch one, but you can extend it further up if you want. You can be doing the most beautiful, intricate cards like this. And then this here is actually from that pad, right? So in that beautiful pad, can you remember the back couple of pages? I've been pinching things out of mine, right? The back couple of pages have got all die cut toppers. However, you've then got the papers. Can you see we've got printed paper? So this could be an insert in your card. The papers themselves, they're a little bit like some vintage retro wallpaper. It's the colour palette that is just off the chart here. Now I did launch this on HSN in March, so I was overdoing this in the March shows. All my life, you guys in America went absolutely crazy for it, and I mean crazy for it. Then when we launched it in the UK at the weekend at Create and Craft, sold out as a blockbuster over the weekend. The feedback we've just had has been exceptional. People just saying it's that big statement butterfly they love, and they just make a load of butterflies now and they'll worry about what cards they're making for them later. Or this paper pad, what you could do is go for the complete collection and then buy an extra 1 or 2 of the paper pads. You know we always sell out of our paper pads really quickly. If you love these papers, get some extra paper pads, right? Now, I'm going to clean my cards up and I'm going to get straight into doing a demo. And of course, I'm going to show you that gorgeous statement butterfly, because that literally is the pièce de la résistance, as it was, of the whole collection, right? Now, this is the die itself, Joe, where you've got, can you see, if I get you out of here, oh, are you going to get stuck in here? There we go. Yep, so you are getting 3 dies. Now, it's not, I was going to say it's not very often. I've never ever known us do this before, where we've put 3 large dies in a set. Let me make sure I've got all the tape off the backs of those. Yes. So can you see, you've got the back, a little bit more detail, loads of detail in there. So you can either use all 3 together or just use a couple of them. So I'm going to do background piece. I'm going to miss out the middle level and then put my detail onto a bit of cream card, right? Now they will go through either your Gemini or your Gemini Junior. I think for speed, I've got my Junior here in front of me. So I'll send the first butterfly through to kind of kick off. And then I'll send the second butterfly through just on some cream, like linen card as it was, to get that lovely detail in the linen card. So there's my base butterfly. Ooh, coming out there. Perfect. And there, so we'll pop this one through as well. Now, although it's an intricate die, if I just twist it a little bit, I don't envisage having any problem sending this through the Junior, right? So I'm going to send that through the Junior. And then if I just get my tape, what we can do, if you want to just deepen the edges a bit more, watch this, this is going to look amazing. You can tell I get a bit too excited with all of this, can't you? It's this kit, man. It is this kit. So look at that. If I get a piece of black out here, might you be able to see this? Do I have a piece? I've got a piece of dark blue. I'll put this intricate one on a piece of dark blue. Then you can just marvel and appreciate how fabulous it looks. And I'm going to get, let's have a look. I'm going to get a brown ink pad and a pink ink pad. And watch what I'm going to do. So on the edge of this one here, right, I'm going to just get one of my sponge applicators, and I'm going to put a little bit of pink just on the edges, right? Oh yes, it just gives it a total lift, right? That little bit of ink on the edge, look at the difference it makes. Just really softens the edge, doesn't it? So this is the great thing about being in here. I've got everything to hand. Can get on with all the crafting in one go, right? So there's a bit of pink down that edge, and then on my other one, I'm going to get another edge piece off, and let's add a little bit of brown to deepen down this one, okay? So not too much on there,
and I'm just going to smooth that around the edge. Can you see it just gives it a little bit more dimension? I'm going to do some of that with some of the papers for in the background as well. And this is the thing, just because it's a pretty collection, right? The butterflies are very pretty, doesn't mean that you can't grunge it up a little bit. This is what I loved about this set. It really does kind of grunge up as it was really well. So look at that there, just a little bit of brown, just depth, gives a bit of depth around the outside. I'm going to bring this one in, so a little bit of tape in the middle of here, but I'm layering this up. I'm not sticking these butterflies down flat. There we go. Now that, I feel like you need to come and have a little look on the close-up. Should I show you on the close-up one here? Are you ready for this? How beautiful is my butterfly, right? Even if all you do is buy this kit and make gorgeous butterflies and stroke the paper, it is worth it to make gorgeous butterflies and stroke the paper, right? But we're not just going to make gorgeous butterflies and stroke the paper. We're going to actually make this card. We're going to do a nice Z-fold card, right? So this is a Z-fold, or if I show you it up close, can you see the shaping that we get? Here we go. So you can see the shape that you get on a Z-fold card. Now let me show you how we do a Z-fold card, okay? Because it's actually really easy. Already folded mine, right? Piece of the craft card works really well with this collection, by the way. And I've just put a score line in the middle. So score line in the middle there, it doesn't matter. This can then be whatever size you want it to be. But that depth there, you then need to make another piece of card exactly the same, so that it's got the same depth in this. So on this one, I just did 1 inch. So you need to leave 1 inch in this part here, but these little bits can be as long as you want, right? And then watch what we're going to do. We're going to flip this over. This connects on the front and this connects on the back. Can you see? So they just connect beautifully well. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop just some of those papers from the kit onto the background there. So this background is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm using, for this card, I'm actually using just some scraps that are left over. Now even the tape pen is coming included in this set, right? So I've even thrown you in your big bundle one of our tape pens to get you started, all right? So there's my 2 bits of laid card on there. And then I'm going to do exactly the same here. Oh, let's just make sure I got the right way up. Yep, so can you see that's going to, no, that's not going to connect on there. Let's just get that, I have it right. You get this right, and then what you do is you flick it over 180 degrees, right? And what I've done is I've just cut some bits of card that are going to go on the front there, right? And I'm going to do the same again. I'm just going to give a little bit of depth around the edges with that ink pad. Doesn't need lots, it just kind of needs the, I always say it needs the edge taken off it, right? So it just needs, so it's not quite as strong. And what I love about these collections is all of the papers just work together absolutely beautifully. So you just know the whole set is going to work. When you get it home, you know that no matter, you can take the toppers out of the back, you can take the die cut pieces out, you can layer up different bits of paper from the set and know that everything is going to match in beautifully well and just work fantastic when you get it home. So little bit of tape down the back of this one here and on the bit that's left on the front here. And then watch how that goes together, remember? So we're going to put a piece on the front, just line that up, see where you want it to go down afterwards, push it all together so it's flat to go in the envelope, but then it opens up to make a lovely 3D, what you call a Z-fold card on here, all right? Now, just to finish it off, what I've done is, again, I've popped some of the 3D elements out of that kit, right? So I've just popped some of the little roses out of the back, and I just feel like it would really benefit from some little roses on the corner. This is what I had in mind when I worked with the team to put this together, that these little roses, we might as well fill every little bit of the die cut space, because you could use all of these extras as it was and put the cards together. It just gives you kind of a bit of a background starting point. And then our gorgeous butterfly that we had, I'm literally going to stick a little bit of tape across the back here. I'm going to stick that on the front, just make sure it goes nicely in the middle of my card. Lift them wings up, And then all I'm going to do is pop a couple of little gems on and we're ready to go. That is how versatile this kit is to use and just how much you are going to get done with one piece. Now all I've used there is the statement butterfly and some of the papers, and that card is just absolutely gorgeous. Super easy to do and absolutely gorgeous, don't you think?
Sarah, these kits are sensational, aren't they?
Oh, this in particular, Jo, this collection, if you are wanting to do this work with this brush lettering, you imagine not having this kit, you are going to have to buy fine liner pens, you're going to have to buy brush pens, you're going to have to buy the metallic pens, get the sparkles, you're going to need all the tuition. This kit has it all in. Now let me just show you, this is the crux of every kit, is the instruction manual, okay? Now in here you're going to be introduced to our artist, so Winterbird. She then talks you through the different tools that you have in the kit. Now this is everything that's coming in this kit. So I start off by showing you, there are two of our specialist art liner pens, and you can see there's a brush tip and a 0.5mm. So that brush tip is what's going to give you the perfect base for brush lettering. I've had a lot of brush lettering artists say this is one of the best brush lettering pens they've ever come across. You've then also got the fine liner. So the fine liner is for you to do this sort of effect here, where you can put the shadow onto all of your, let me just lift that up. So if you want the shadowing on all of your letters, it's the fine liner that you're going to use to do with that. You get both of those in there. Then, if you want to progress on beyond the black, we have our fabulous metallic markers with that beautiful brush lettering tip on there for you to do the brush lettering in either the silver or the amethyst, which is that gorgeous purple. And we also have the sparkle pen in the gold. Now, let me just show you if you're just getting started with this, okay? So we learn about Winterbird, we learn about those tools. She explains to you about how to grip the pen, the angle that you need to work the pen at, and then she's going to take you through how to perfect your stroke and your basic alphabet glide, right? Now, in the kit, you also get loads of these little inspirational things for you to start with. So if I want to try and do this one here, right, you've basically got all of your designs explained and you've got something to try and copy off. Now, just to get me started, what I've done is I've just lined up some of these, right? Now, if you want to start with the brush pen, you can see I can use what she's done. So we're going down with the heavy on the down, light on the up, heavy on the down. Same here, so we're going heavy on the down with the eye, right? Going heavy on the down, light on the up, yep, and then lift on the end, and then we're going to go heavy on the down and light on the up. So there's me practicing my live, right? Then what we can do, now I've just brought a bit of black card in so that you can see this on the camera easily. Let's try this now with the metallic brush markers and look at the difference, okay? So we're coming heavy on the down, light on the up like she explains in the instructions, and then we're going down. We're doing the same heavy down, light up, heavy down, light up, and then we're just lifting on the edge and we're going light up, heavy down, right? So there's my live, and you can do live, love, laugh. I did one of these, I practiced the other sentiment, wherever you go, go with all your heart, right? And then one of the other clever things that she teaches you, right, is using the fine liner pen. So let me just do let's just do the love here, right? So I'm going to come down, lift up, and then we're coming down with the L and the lift up. Now bear in mind, I am not a brush lettering expert, right? But I love trying this technique, and I think this kit is going to be a brilliant way to get you started. Now, not only do you get that brush tip, but you also get the fine liner in this set. So can you see, if you want to follow through the shading on here, you can follow through where to put the shading on all of your 3D with your fine liner. So can you see, you follow that through and you can start and give it even more kind of dimension as you're going down here. And it just shows you where to put all of the all of the kind of start points as it was. Now, what I would say is, if you're watching and you're someone who's either always wanted to brush letter and didn't know where to start, or perhaps you just didn't have the right tools to start with, the kit is basically everything you need to get started. It is all of the pens, so you've got the fine liner and the brush liner, 2 of the metallic pens, and also one of the sparkle. So if I just show you, I've got one sparkle. This is the sort of effect that you're getting with the there we go. This is with the metallic pens, but whether it's metallic or sparkle, you can learn how to do all of that specialist brush lettering. You're going to get all the tools you need. You're going to get all the tuition that you need, and go and follow Winterbird over on Instagram, right? She's one of the I would say the most highly respected brush lettering artists worldwide, and you will be able to follow her tuition and essentially have her starter kit to get you going. So it really is a perfect, complete collection for any brush lettering enthusiast or someone you know that might want to get started.
Now, the Mandala, the brand new Discovery collection from Spectrum Noir, is going to give you in such incredible value, but also inspire you to become the artist that you always wanted to be, because these collections are put together with renowned artists to enable you really to give you all the tools that you need to create something spectacular. This one here is the Mandala, and this has been put together with renowned artist Baz Furnell. You've got everything that you need within here to be creating these beautiful projects. It's like a new hobby in a box. Sarah, how excited are we about this one?
Oh, Baz just does the most incredible mandala work. I'd never seen this 3D mandala work before. I'd seen regular mandalas, I'd coloured loads of them, but have a look at this. This is what a 3D mandala is all about. So can you see, it looks like the light's coming from here and you've got darkness all around here. That's because of the way you do the shading. So for this you need a light, a medium and a dark pen in every coloration, plus you need to learn how to 3D up your mandala. So let me just show you another one. Same idea again, light source coming from this direction again, lighter here, darker over here, looks all very, very 3D. Now, let me show you how Baz is going to teach you exactly how to do that. Again, you get full instructions in the kit. Now, you can see there how Baz's mandalas look so dimensional. This is what he's going to teach you how to do, okay? As we open this up, you're going to learn a little bit more about Baz. Go and follow him on Instagram and you can learn all about how he does his techniques, see more of his mandalas, get more to colour in. Then he's going to start talking about the tools. Now in this collection, this was just crying out to work with our tri-blends. So each one of these pens is 3 pens in one, where you have a light, a medium and a dark colour. And that is what's going to allow you to do 3-dimensional colouring, right? So if I just put all this together, because I am going to show you that in just a second, you get the blue, the green and the coral in here. To put you into perspective, you couldn't buy 3 of these pens for the price of this whole kit, okay? So he's going to teach you all about the pens. Then he's going to teach you how to do it step by step. So this is how you do your blending. And he's going to teach you how to do this 3-dimensional effect using the two fine liner pens from the Art Liner collection. So in here you've got a 0.1mm and a 0.3mm, and he talks about selecting your light source, and then according to that, can you see in this set here, you're going to emphasize some of your lines. Now let me just show you exactly what that means. You do get a load of his designs to colour and copy off on here. So for example, here is that beautiful one that's been done up here in the blues. I love this, right? So what he talks about, I'm going to follow his step-by-step guide. Imagine where the light's coming from. So let us imagine that the light is coming down from the top here. What you're going to do, I'm going to see if you can get a little bit closer for you to be able to see this. Everything that touches the top of the light, you're going to emphasise with your number 1 tip point, right? So this is the number 1. Everything underneath the light point, right? So as you come further down, you're going to emphasize with the number 3 brush point, which is much thicker, which is how you're going to get that 3-dimensional look, right? So we're going to emphasize the number 3. You can see that's thicker up here. So again, you're going to follow all the way around the top one, and you're going to follow that. So if I wanted the light to come from this direction, for example, I would follow this all the way around with this collection, right? With this side, with this pen. And then I'd come around with the other side with the number 3, which you can see is much thicker. And it's just how you get all of that 3-dimensionalness into the drawing of the mandala. So you're going to emphasize the mandala, and that's exactly what he's showing you on this drawing here and how to do that. That's the first stage. Then you're going to come in. Let me just show you the one that I've been starting to colour here, right? So if I'm colouring, I've imagined the light source is coming from here. So you want your light, your medium and your dark. So if we just colour over, say we're going to colour this section in here, right? What you're going to do is we're going to colour everything with our light one, all right? So we're light there. In fact, let's just colour over all of this section with our light. Now you're imagining that your light source is coming from here. So everything underneath that line would have a little bit of dark. So I'm coming in now with the darkest shade and putting in a little bit of that shading along there. So everything around this area is going to have the darker shade one coming in, right? And then you come in with the medium pen, which is your colour in the middle, and just colour over where the dark one gets to the light one. And what it does is the medium pen bleaches out some of the colour in the darker pen, so it starts to give it a brushed out 3D look. We do the same, we come in with the lightest one, and you can see there now with that lightest pen, we're going back over again and we're making the whole element look truly 3-dimensional. You see how it looks like the light's coming from one side. This is what I've done here. So if we take this section here, you can see we put the dark pen in here, then the medium, then the light right at the edge. And that's how you get that truly 3-dimensional look. And you're going to have that with the greens. You're also going to have it with the corals, which is where if you want to do beautiful colouring like this one here, this is predominantly coral. You can see we've got the lighter shades here moving to the dark ones here, imagining the light sources coming from here. And you're also going to get the same with the blue. So whether you want to do blue and green shades like this, it's all about getting that 3D mandala colouring. Now what I would say is, any of you out there watching who have friends who have been getting into colouring and they want to just take their colouring up another level and want to try something different, what a brilliant kit to get them started, because you've got a few of the mandalas to get started with the colouring. You've got 3 of the colour pens for you to be able to work with. You've got all of the instructions for how to be able to take regular mandala colouring right up to 3D mandala colouring. And then you can go on Baz's Instagram page, learn a load more and have all the tools you need to get you started. That's why this is a fantastic kit for all levels of colourist.
Oh, those discovery kits were so incredibly popular. A great way to try a new craft for the first time. Go find all those deals still now over on the website. Now they say Christmas comes once a year. Well, not here at Crafters TV, let me assure you, because Wednesday this week we had a Christmas sale and I even popped my Christmas jumper on. Fabulous deal firstly with the creator card. So you buy 2, you get 2 free here and across all these Christmas items on the show. So $29.98 if you're in the UK, $33.90 if you're in the US, means you're paying for 2, we send you 4. I'll just show you what you're able to do. I've got the boards for a couple of them. So this is Snowdrift. Now the great thing is about these creator cards is they're a one-pass wonder. So if you are making to sell, you're gonna absolutely love these. Now what we do is give you the panel die itself, so you can cut into whatever you want to cut into, and then remove the outside edge, but removed it in 2 parts, which gives you the most amount of options. So you can either have this coming off and over the edge of one of your projects, whether you do that on the left or the right side, it's up to you, or you can put both of the cutting edges onto there and have both of them on there if you want to. So that one is the Snowdrift that you've got there. This one is the tree. How fabulous is that? That's going to make some wonderful Christmas projects for you. Now you're getting two other options as well included. You're going to get the festive bow and the Christmas foliage as well. So you'll get all of those. Let me just show you that there on a picture. So there you can see absolutely everything you're getting. $29.98 or $39.90. I'm hearing you're already jumping to the website for that one. I knew it was going to be busy.
Let me show you, if you haven't seen them before, let me show you what's awesome about them, okay? Because basically each one is 3 dies in the set. So can you see, you get the creator card and you get a cut on each side, which means that if you want to do cards like this, you've got your creator card, we've left the cut in one side and we've cut it around the other. These cards look awesome, but they're super quick and easy, right? It's the same if you want to take it another level. So look at this bow. That's bow for those of you that talk nice and posh, right? Can you see it's been cut? So on the back one here, it's just completely cut into the front of the card. So actually, if we bring that die in, what you're getting is, you're not using the top this time, you're not using the bottom half, you're only using the cut in. And that gives you this effect. Now the papers around the outside have been cut just using these to give you the matten layer. Then this one on the front, we've used half of it over the fold. So it's really clever. So I'm going to try and show you a few different ways that you could be using them, right? But before I do that, I'm going to whiz you through some of these samples because samples look fabulous and it'll give you an idea of the different designs, okay? So this one is the beautiful snow flurry, all right? So you've got that gorgeous snowflake design, which you can do either one way, so this would just be a single card with it, okay? Or you can flip it and do it 2 ways. So can you see it's got that nice smooth curve one way, which is what's being used on the edge of this card, or you've got the fancy bits if you want to do the fanciness, right? There's another one done with that, with some gorgeous coloured card in. This is the same idea as that Christmas tree that I was showing you. Same card, completely different look, right? So let's imagine we're going to buy the Christmas tree and the snowflake, which means the other designs are coming for free. So let's have a look at what's coming as an extra for free. The holly and the ivy, right? So look at this beautiful, beautiful design. So incredibly intricate. You can see there. And with a little bit of glitter card behind, it just shows it off fantastically well. So you get the one with the holly on, and then if I also keep flicking through till I find one, let's have a look. We've got the bow, the Christmas tree. Oh, you've got all 4 of them. So the holly, the snow flurry, the bow, and the Christmas tree, right? So those are your 4 designs in the collection. The good thing is though, they are £14.99, $19.99, but you're buying 2. You're getting the other 2 absolutely free. That's the whole thing today. You're buying 2, getting the other 2 absolutely free, okay? Now, let's just show you. Should I show you how to do that nice basic Christmas tree card, okay? Now, I've got some lovely, I thought this would be perfect. Got some lovely glitter cards, because we can cut into glitter card as well, right? So watch what we're going to do. We're going to take our die, she says optimistically, with stuff all over. Here we go. And we're just going to measure it. Now I know how tall it is, but I'm just going to show you, okay? So if we put it up on our mat here, it is just shy on 5.5 inches tall, right? That's where we make them, just less than 5.5, so that they would fit on a US A2 card. Look how beautifully well that fits on the front of an A2 card there. Perfect, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my guillotine in, and I'm just going to cut that card to 5.5 inches deep all the way down. So here we go, 5.5, and that's just going to be the perfect size to go on there. And obviously if you're making an envelope for it, I'll keep this out because we're probably going to use this, right? If you want to make an envelope for it, you easily can do. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the Christmas tree on the edge. So I'm going to put my Christmas tree there, and I'm going to add on the outside die. So what it does is it cuts it, and it completely cuts it out, right? So I'm connecting that right onto the bottom of the card. I'm going to hold this in place with a little bit of tape, right? Actually, I'm going to put a lot of tape on because I don't want this moving as we get this through the die. Now, you're just going to put this, okay, into your machine. So I'm going to put it, let's put it through the big Gemini, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly tilt it as we're bringing it on, right? You want your clear cutting plate, then you want your magnetic mat on the top, then you want your top cutting plate, okay? And I've got my big Gemini here. Right, I got both my Geminis out. I didn't know what I would fancy using today, so I got them both out.
I just need to let you know, Sarah. I know that we added the layering stamps quite late on. The deal hasn't yet gone live on the website. A few of you are trying to check out already. In the next 10 to 15 minutes, it will be there, and you can check your baskets out. So what I would say is just hang fire. As soon as we've rectified the situation, I will let you know. But we are working on it. It will be fixed very, very soon.
Right. I haven't got one of my new embossing mats, but I've got one of the old embossing mats on here, okay? So I'm just going to pop the embossing mat on. Look what I could do. I could actually just send it the other way if I wanted, and put it through my Gemini Junior, which is right here. So save me leaning over the bench a little bit. So it's completely up to you. That's the beauty of having the Junior plates, you see. They'll go in both machines. Who has their machine set up like this at home? It's nice when you've got the space, isn't it? I know it's a bit of a luxury, this space here, right? So here we go, right? I'm going to just take that out. All of this will just come away. Can you see? So we'll take the, this die will even come off easily, right? Now, before I take this out, I'm just going to do my customary little bang on the side. Oh, I haven't quite banged it enough, but never mind. I'm going to sit and do my poker job then, right? And we can sit and poke these out. Actually, Joe, I'll sit and poke them while you see what everybody's saying about these this morning.
Absolutely. Loads of you loving. Loads of you dropping in just to say Merry Christmas as well. Wishing each other. Sarah bought us all in an Easter egg this morning. I was ever so confused. I was dressed as Christmas. I was dressed as the Christmas bunny. No, that's not a thing. I was dressed as the Easter bunny in my Christmas jumper, clutching my Easter egg. I was very discombobulated. Lots of you dropping in to say hi. Lots of you sharing with me your favourite Christmas memories as well. Kirsten saying when the dog jumped into the tree. That was a highlight. That sounds fun. Sherry says that she loves having brand new special Christmas PJs and putting them on Christmas Eve.
Oh, we do matching family PJs now. Well, I say we do. My husband refused to wear his last year because he's a right Scrooge. So me and the kids were matching, and Simon's lovely PJs that I just bought him were just sitting there. He was like, I'm not wearing them. I look ridiculous. So that was the end of that one.
Evelyn says that she loves being up all night Christmas Eve making cookies and decorating gingerbread houses. That's some of her favourite memories. Katie, now this is one that I can get on board with, says every Christmas driving down to LA and then taking the kids to Disney on Christmas Eve. Now that sounds fun, doesn't it?
That does sound fun.
And also Suzette says baking all night Christmas Eve. That seems to be quite a popular one. Can I just give you a little bit of a sneaky peek? No, shut the front door, put the bins out, twiddle the blinds. 10% of the edibles have gone already.
Now, the edibles? We haven't even looked at the edibles yet.
No, creator cards, that's what I meant.
You can, but you can use them as edibles. But do you know what? At that price, I wouldn't be surprised if the edibles were the same.
Yeah, I think they'll go the same way for sure. Don't forget as well, the craft vault is coming up a little later. Can I just quickly just give you a little bit of point in the direction of this gorgeous cardstock that's going to be on the show? Oh, you guys are already ahead of me.
That's what I'm using.
You've got the glitter card red, silver and green, Centura Pearl, red and green. They're getting 5 packs here, so you're getting 50 sheets in total for £12.56. What a fabulous... Oh, 10% of that one's gone as well. Very, very busy this morning here on Crafters TV. Remember as well, lots of you joining the conversation on Facebook. We love that. But if you want to watch and shop at the same time, as I'm sure you do, then just head on over to our website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu. And also remember, you can use your Club Inspire discounts alongside all of the fabulous discounts that we bring you here on Crafters TV. We allow you to double discount. I've heard of Christmas in June being a thing before, but we're doing it. We're making Christmas in April. Christmas in April, it's a thing now. You saw it here first. It's a Crafters TV Christmas exclusive in April. That's what we've got. And also the great thing is, I know so many of you got extra time on your hands at the moment, it's a perfect opportunity for you to start that Christmas crafting, especially when we've got great deals. You're going to be seeing those layering stamps coming up. Don't forget about the festive word edibles, they're coming up. The embossing folders coming back. The ink pads. Now, we did the water reactives for you last week, and it was such a popular show that we've absolutely recreated the deal, but on the quick drying ink pads for you as well. So do pop over to the website and have a look. There's 2 different options for you, but already I can see how busy the 29-piece collection is. Because you've got everything that you need in there. £100 or $140, you're saving £44 or $62. And some people collect our ink pads for, you know, months and months, years and years to get a really comprehensive collection. You've got it all in one go, all in one hit. And the quick dries are so popular. I'm pretty sure Sarah's going to guide us through those a little bit later in this show. It's very ornate, that Christmas tree, Sarah. It's really gorgeous,
I wish I'd given it a better tap before I lifted the edge off, but let's just put a little bit of dark card behind that so you can see it was worth the effort, right? Now, while we're having a good look, right, I'm just going to fess up about something, right? You know, I was going on about how great me new do my nails at home are. Yeah, they're really not that good. So I'm just going to peel this off, right? So we're going to have dodgy nails live on air because it's just on a bit of a peel, and this one's on a bit of it. Yeah, there we go. So we the struggle is real, guys. The struggle is real. So yeah, let's just say we'll be getting that machine back out tonight, see if we can do any better. Well, never mind. One dropped off in the car this morning. I was like, oh, I'm not having any luck with these. Right, what I have done is I've done some lovely poking out, right? And then what I am going to do is I'm going to bring this in. Oh, I feel like I want to be really careful on the edge here, right? I'm going to bring this in, use the scoring tool, and I'm just going to score. Let's have a look. I think you should give it a little bit like this, right? Just going to score up the side here so that we get that bit of a turn, and this comes onto the front of the card, right? Now, do you know what's really good if you've got the these silver, if you're using that what do you call it, Joe? Paper, that paper, the cardstock, right? If you've got any of our Spectrum Noir pens, the classiques that we've got, you can colour onto glitter card. Look, I'm still doing a bit of me poking, right? So I've got a couple of the shades here. So the Christmas tree, we'll do it in the green. So I've just got 3 shades of the green. So I've got 2, 4 and 5, right? 2, 4 and 5 there. And the actual snowflakes, we do them in a little bit of lavender and blue or something. I've got a nice dark purple to do the little baubles. So watch when we colour this here, you see. We can literally colour over this, and you can colour tint all of your glitter card. That's what I absolutely love about these. Because they're permanent markers, we spend our whole time teaching you about how to do blending with them. We don't talk about the fact that you can do so much more with them and all this other clever stuff, because they are they're permanent markers. Is that all of the... It's all of the little bits of the baubles and whatnot, right? So then we're going to come on with some little bits of our snowflakes. So I'm going to do the snowflakes in a nice blue shade. Just colour them on the front. And then I'm going to colour the rest of the Christmas tree, just using all the greens. And I am going to do some blending, right? So start with the light green at the top, right? Notice I'm using the wider edge, just because it's a little bit easier. There, you can see it now, right? And I'm just going to take it off the side. We are going to cut a little bit of this out, but just so that you can see it. So I'm going to take the lighter green part way down, right? And then I'm going to come into the mid green. So mid green would be number 2. And I'm going to blend in with the mid green. And then where the 2 of them join together, I'm going to go back over with that lighter screen, so you can still get the same blend just like you would. Look at that. So we've got them 2 blended together. In fact, it's actually easier on glitter card than what it is on regular cardstock to blend your shades together. How awesome is that? So this is now the Classics bundle. We specifically asked for it to go onto this show again because we know how many of you have been getting into colouring in since we started our colouring shows on a Friday, right? And I know a lot of you have started with our tri-blend pens, which are brilliant as a kind of starting point if you're just starting in colouring. But if you wanted to kind of take your colouring to the next level, the next step up from that would be to get yourself a set of our Classics, where you've got all the different shades. You've got the chisel nib as well as the fine nib. So that's the set that we've got on today.
They are very, very busy. We did have them on the show last night. We didn't get to spend enough. We didn't really get. I don't think we even did a demonstration on them.
We didn't.
The royal we, of course, Sarah, of course, didn't do a demonstration on them. So I asked them to go back on today, and already very, very busy. Lots of you are going for these. £80 gets you 6 packs of 12 of the pens, 72 pens in total. So that is a lot of pens for your money when you think about the fact that you're getting that Spectrum Noir quality there as well. And Spectrum Noir, it's all about artist grade, isn't it, Sarah?
Yes, well, it's about, like, look, for example, these are permanent markers, and look what we're able to colour onto here. We're able to kind of take that colouring onto another level. And loads of people have just never thought to do this before, Joe, you know, but because they're permanent pens, you can do anything like this with them. You can colour onto glass, onto ceramic, all of these different finishes. Wood, they look brilliant onto wood as well. So I've just taken it up the side here so that you can see how we can go and do that kind of shading. But can you see there? So I've got that lovely ombre effect of the greens. Let's get you blended out nicely. There you go. So when the alcohol evaporates, that'll all blend up. But then we've got all this Christmas tree all coloured up in different shades. That will now work, you see, on that lovely white background. Oh, look, I've got ink all over me fingers, right? I'll just get myself a baby wipe, which obviously won't bring it off because it's permanent marker, so we're going to be green for the rest of the show. But you get the idea there of what I was trying to show you about colouring in the ink. So that basically shows you how the dye is going to work to round the edge just using one shade. But then also, it's going to play havoc with me if I don't fix this now, you see. Here you go, all the way down the side. Get all that coloured nicely. Right, but also you could do the same thing, cutting into just the top or cutting right into the inside. And I will come back a little bit later in the show and show you how to do different cuts using those same dyes. Let me just show you, okay? And listen, if you're on the fence, can I just say, yes, we have the smaller bundle for £50 or $70 because we're trying to get something at everyone's budget. However, if you are remotely serious about stamping, these are the type of inks you want to work with. Now, let me explain the difference in the different types of ink pads, okay? I did this wonderful show last week on the water reactive ink pads. They are fabulous for blending techniques, for where you stamp and drag the colour out, for where you do the artsy stuff, right? That is what those ink pads were made for. If you're wanting to actually stamp something, so like all of our layering stamps, you're wanting to get multiple images stamped, it's no good using one of those ink pads because it takes forever to dry, and also you don't get kind of crisp images. So you get the crisp images by having the quickness of the drying. So this dries literally instantly. As soon as it touches the page, it's dry and ready to go. But it's not just a case of having something that dries quickly for convenience. You want that quick dry dye that grabs to the card so that you get that professional finish, because actually what you want is you want cards that when you make them are going to look like this, that are going to get this lovely stamped image. If you want to do them gingerbreads, you want these bright vivid colours, Joe, that are going to give you this sort of thing. I mean, look how bright these colours are, but they've stamped and layered on top of each other perfectly. Now, we only released these ink pads, oh crikey, it wasn't that long ago. We brought the water reactive ones out first, we brought these ones out next. I understand for a lot of people, building up an ink pad collection is something you do over a number of years. I understand, you know, you've got different types of ink pads for different jobs. If you are even semi-way serious about stamping, I know the first ones you're going to get are those water reactive because you want to do all the funny techniquey stuff. But actually think about what you're actually stamping. What about if you're stamping some gorgeous flowers? You need some pinks and purples. What about if you're stamping some landscape backgrounds? You need the browns and the greens. All those different shades. Instead of buying the ink pads one at a time, we've put the bundle together, so we've thought of everything for you. Now, I stuck my neck out on the line to ask for this on the show. Obviously, this is supposed to be a Christmas show where we are focusing on all the other Christmas stuff, but I said to them, look, if I'm getting them layering stamps on there, people absolutely need the quick dry ink pads. They're just not going to get great results if they haven't got the quick dry ink pads. So when we were like, okay, we can put them on, I was like, well, if we're doing that, we need to do it at the same deal that we had the other day. If we had this £50 and the £100 bundles on the water reactives, we need them on the layering ones. So we've got you that same deal on here, right? We can't do a lot of them. I don't know if you saw, but the deal that we had on the watery ink pad, completely sold out. We're now out of stock of loads of the colours of the water reactive ink pads because you guys went crazy. The same's going to happen with the layering stamps. And the thing is, because we're in this situation whereby we're limited on stock availability all around the world, it could be goodness knows how long before we get ink pads back in stock. So at the moment, while we're relatively early into the lockdown, you're lucky that we're doing our shows and we've got all of our products in stock. Week by week, that stock's being depleted. So today, I've got this big collection on the layering ink pads, on the quick dry ones. However, if we're doing shows in a few weeks' time and I'm doing more with stamping, you know what's going to happen. I'm going to be like, oh, I've got a nice bundle of greys, or I've got an orange. And we're going to be having to get creative. So if you're thinking at some point over the next 3 or 4 months you're going to want these ink pads, please just get them while we've got them in stock, while we've got them on the deal. Right, I can't decide. Right, I don't know whether to do it in blues or turquoise, because look, there's some blues, or we've got the nice turquoise as well. So can you see we've got the light blue, the medium, here we go, the light, the medium and the dark in the turquoise, or you've got the light, the medium and the dark in the blue, and you've got them both included. I know what we can do. Let's go purple. We've got dark, medium and light in purple, because obviously if you go for the big bundle, you've got all the collections. Oh, it's hard to choose. How about we use purple and turquoise in together? Oh, that's going to look good, Joe. That's going to look good. Right, so I think we should start off our background and have a nice turquoisey background. So let's just put these in here and we'll be going as we're going along, right? Oh, we do need a bit of card. That would really help, wouldn't it? Right? So I'll just get a bit of card and I'll start me stamping. So I'm going to start off with the turquoise, then I might go purple in the middle and then back to turquoise for the top. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. You can watch me, Joe. You can keep up with the comments if you want.
Well, Rosalind has said that she had just got her water reactives. She's got the opaque ones, and she's going for the quick dry full collection as well. She's going to be having loads and loads of inky fun. Loads of you going for the larger collection is what you're telling me. Debbie is asking, with the layering stamps, can you use embossing powder on the layers if you did it with a pigment ink?
Yes. So absolutely you could. If someone's been watching Leanne's masterclass on Monday, haven't they? Ooh. Using the opaque embossing powders, the opaque inks and the embossing. Yes, absolutely. They would look wonderful. In fact, I'm sure I might have brought up a sample earlier that was using one of the, with some embossing powder on there as well. So you could absolutely do that.
With the quick dries, is there any sort of cardstocks that we need to go for or not go for, Sarah?
With the quick dry inks, nope. Stamping card would be brilliant. Right. Oh, watch what I'm going to do. Right, Joe. I'm going to go a bit more advanced here. Right. I've put the middle colour. I'm going to blend a little bit with a couple of bits of darker, so that we get 2 ink pads on one. Right. So I've put the lighter one on first, then the darker one, so that we'll get like a 2-tone ombre in totally over the front of the stamp. Right. So let's have a look. I'm just going to make sure you're going to line up perfectly for me. He's just getting my hair out the way. Right, there we go. We're down on there. We are stamping exactly in that gap with our 2-tone. Oh, I like that. So we've got some deeper purple, some darker purple. Hang on, we need to just lift this whole thing up, right? Are you ready? Right. So we've got some light purple around here, some darker purple here. Should we do the same again with the next layer? Just because we can, because it looks awesome, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So they're quick drying when they hit the cardstock.
So they're dry now.
Can you leave them for a while on the actual stamp then? Will they stay wet on the stamp?
No, I would try and get going as quick as you can. Okay. So if you're a little bit like me and you like a bit of gossip, especially if you're under studio lights like this, right? I have known sometimes I can be talking too long and my ink starts to dry, right? So I'm going to go with the lagoon all over. So we've got the dark lagoon one in here. This is going to look fab, right? Never done this before. And then I'm going to bring in a little bit of my purple, bit of damson wine, bring in a bit down here, right? And a bit down here, so we get a little bit of ombre going on, right? Are you ready for this? Here we go, over the top. Right, watch me hair, guys. Or don't, well, the idea is don't watch me hair. Right, so we're getting all lined up perfectly, right? All down. Now, even if you don't get them perfectly in place, do not worry. Oh yes,
Whoa.
there we go. With that lovely, so we've got one colour in the background and then we've mixed our turquoises and purples in the foreground. Doesn't that look amazing? I'm absolutely chuffed to bits with that. I think that just looks lovely. And the purples are in the kit, the turquoises are in the kit, the blues are in the kit. We've put the reds in the kit, we've put the browns in the kit. We've put some of your deeper greys in the kit, we've put the yellows in the kit, we've put the greens in the kit, we've put the pinks in the kit, right? You've got plenty of colours of Inkpad. We haven't gone with everything because it would be too expensive. So we've gone with what you absolutely need. I've picked the most popular colours. And like I said, we do have a kind of, we don't have a shortage of Inkpads at the moment. However, we did that big show on the water reactors last week. Loads of the colours have sold out. You'll go on our website now, you'll see we just can't offer the selection of colours that we had on that show. Loads of them have sold out. And I don't know when we're getting more in. I have no idea. The Inkpads are all made for us in America. The company's on lockdown. I've got no idea when the Inkpads are coming in. It's going to be the same with the layering, the quick dries here. The moment I've got them, and if you're watching live now, you can get that big bundle, right? In a week's time, a couple of weeks' time, we're going to be having to be innovative in what colours we've got next. I know that for a fact, let's just say, okay? So, get them put to one side. They look fabulous, right? There we go. Right, I'll get myself tidied up, Joe.
Oh, it was like Christmas, but without all the New Year guilt and the food comas. We had a lovely time on Wednesday, although it was a bit warm this time of the year for that jumper, I must confess. All of those deals, of course, still live over on the website, so do go and check them out. Now, Wednesday evening, we had a whole other show for you. So we were here with Creative Cravings. I was back with Leanne looking through some of the Aqua Tint inks, which I know Leanne loves and adores. Also, look out for a little surprise at the end of this clip. Now, I want to share with you the Spectrum Noir Aqua Tint card creating collection that we've got for you. And this is a really comprehensive kit that's been put together in order for you to kind of try something new, which is what we want you to do. So maybe you've never had the Spectrum Noir Aqua Tints before. You've got these in the kit. So within the kit, you're going to get the perfect pastel within here. And you've got the Moonstone, the Cosmos, and you've got the rose quartz there as well. So you're going to get those included. You're also going to get the spritz bottles included. So if you want to pop them into there, you can water them back, use them that for a lot of different techniques that you might want to use. So that is included there for you as well. You've then got also the Kaleidoscope of Butterflies die right here. So this is fantastic because what you've got is 3 butterflies in ascending size. You love the butterflies, of course, and then what you can do is you can actually layer these up. Now the great thing about this butterfly die is this one's been stuck down. I'm going to unstick it. Oh, I'm going rogue. If I pull this wing off, I'll be in all sorts of trouble. But what you can actually do is you can lift these up, which is fantastic. So it means that you get loads of texture. If you do want to lift them up, what you can do, leave them down and actually mount them up on top of each other. I think about cutting them from a whole host of different things. They'd look lovely cut from something like vellum or parchment as well. Loads that you're going to be able to do with that. That's not where it ends though, of course. You're then also going to get the Scent with Love die, that's coming included for you. And you've then got the watercolour cardstock and you've got the heat resistant acetate as well. So you're getting all of that. In the UK, it's £30, it's $43 in the US, so it really is fantastic. Now I'm going to hand you over to Leanne because she is going to guide us into the wonderful world of Aqua Tint.
I'm so excited about this. I adore Aqua Tint backgrounds. They're so easy to do and really, really impactful. And you can create lots of different cards and lots of different styles using the same technique. Now, the kit that you've got here has 3 fabulous colours in. You've got that amazing, oh, I need my, Joe, I might need you to help me out with the colour. I need my glasses on. There's a blue, a pink and a peach, basically.
Moonstone,
and
Cosmos. Rose quartz.
Oh, Moonstone, Cosmos and Rose quartz. Hello. That sounds fantastic, doesn't it? Sounds like some jewels that I want to wear or drip myself in.
Or some gins.
Or some gins, yes. It would be amazing. Gins or jewels. I don't mind. It begins with G. So that's good. That's good in my book. I'm going to make 2 different cards and I want to show you how the elements in this kit will make 2 cards that are different, but using the same technique. So what I've prepared here are 2 small pieces of watercolour card, and we're just going to prime these by getting them wet. So there's a couple of ways you can do that. You can use the spritzers that come in the kit, and just with plain water, give them a good spritz so that the card is starting to be moist, and that means it's ready to receive anything that we put on top of it, and it'll move around. Have your heat gun ready as well. So I'm just going to grab my heat gun actually so that I've got it here, because the last time I did this live on air I pulled it out of the socket. Here it is, I've got it, it's working, marvellous. So they've started to be primed lovely, and what you can do if you think you've got too much water is just give it a little dab. There we go, so the little dab goes down. Now, in your kit, you also get these 3 fabulous little pipettes, which come in as well. So you can see those there. There you go. 3 little pipettes come in with your inks. I'm going to move this down so you can see what I'm doing with my pots of ink here. That was dangerous. I picked it up in the middle. It's floppy. The 2 full pots nearly went like that. Whew, that would have been a tragedy, wouldn't it? And I'm going to keep it still, flat, with my brush handle for now. So let's start with this lovely peachy colour. I've got my damp card. I'm just getting some of the ink into my pipette, and then I'm splodging it on. Splodging being a technical term. What's a technical term, Joe? Do you know? Do you think it's the same as a technical term?
I think it might be similar.
Do you reckon? I think so too.
Maybe after a few sherries.
Maybe after a few sherries, you're right. So you see it all starts to move round. Let it do its thing. Then I'm going to take my pink colour. I'm going to drop this on too. Let it do its thing, and you'll see what happens is the colours mix together beautifully. So you've got those lovely hot colours in here which do work together really well. Don't worry about the little bubbles. You can burst them or they'll dry out, and you'll get some lovely patination from them when you get your heat tool on there. If you feel you need a little bit more water, just bring your spritzer back in, give it a little spritz, and they'll all start to move around some more. You can decide whether you want to go completely over the top with it or whether you want to keep it understated. It's up to you. So I'm going to take a little bit of blue in here because this is a lovely pastel blue. And look, this matches in beautifully in the collection as well. And where the blue meets the pink, it will make a lovely purple, and they'll all start to move together and wiggle around on the page, for want of a better word. Now, you can leave it to do its thing, or you can swizz it around like this if that's what you want to do, and you see that starts to give it more of a painterly watercoloured feel because it all starts to move around. You can help it along with your brush if you want. If you want it to come to the ends, then you can do that, and you can just do little dabs and that'll bring it all to the end if that's what you want to do, or you can just leave it alone. And if you think you need some more of another colour in there, actually I'm thinking I want a bit more bright pink, then you can bring a little bit more of your other colours in. And the peach, the lovely cosmos, I like that. I like that orange. That's really nice too. So I'm good with that, and we're going to dry it. So this is one style of background we could do, just dropping it on. Have you tried this before, Joe?
No, I haven't tried it with these inks, but I have tried it with the sparkle pens.
Right.
Debbie Robinson, she kind of made me do it actually. We presented the show together on Create and Craft, and she just sort of thrust these pens in my hand and some watercolour cards, and off I went. And I must say, I made a beautiful background, and then we stamped a unicorn on the front of it. Doesn't sound very me, does it?
No, exactly. Not you at all. Rainbow colours, a unicorn.
Definitely.
No.
Not me. Trish is saying these are definitely on her wish list. These inks. Jan is saying hi. Karen's here, I can see. Donna, Maxine, Janice is here in Florida as well. Robbie's here in Alabama. So there's loads of you watching along with us this afternoon. Please let me know what you're up to. If you haven't got anything you need a hand with, we're here to help, obviously. Then let us know what you're working on at the moment. What's on your craft table? I know so many of you got so much extra time on your hands. I've just taken delivery here at HQ of a load of rainbow yarn. So tonight I'm going to start trying to crochet some rainbow window hangings. Let me know in the comments what you're working on. What's on your hook or on your craft table at the moment, Leanne?
Okay, now what we're going to do is do our next type of background. So you can see I've done that fabulous splodgy one, which I'm really loving. That's great. Now we're going to do one with just some lovely blended stripes. So again, I've got a little bit of moistening, so a little spritz with my spritzer, and then I'm going to take a large brush and I'm just damping it down so it'll accept the ink lovely, and then I'm just dipping it in to that lovely peachy colour, and I'm going to do a nice soft watercolour stripe on my background here. And I think I'm just going to do 2 colours because I quite like that. I quite like the idea of that. So I'm doing my watercolour stripe, clean off my brush. I've got that lovely peach colour, and I'm just going to do that so I don't get any lines. That's a good tip actually, to stop your colour stopping in a splodge in the middle where you pick up your brush like that. If you take your brush from beginning to end to end on the card, that's how you get a lovely smooth blend. I know it took me a few goes before I realised that's what I was doing. I'm then going to pick up my lovely pink, and I'm going to bring the pink on here and do the same thing and just work that into this lovely blend here. And then what I'll do is pick up a little bit more of the peach and work that alongside. And then what that does is take out the horrible join in between, and it gives you that lovely kind of sunset feel to it, which just looks lovely, doesn't it? And I really like that peach and pink together. I think it looks glorious. And you can keep drying it and adding a little bit more. It won't get too much darker than the colour you see, because these Aqua Tint inks are exactly as they say at Tint. So it's a liquid dye-based watercolour, which means it is translucent, and you are putting it onto a white cardstock. So you would get a very pastel, beautiful, subtle result as I've got here. And I really, really do love that. I think it looks gorgeous, doesn't it? The same result with the blue and the pink gives you a lovely transition of a purple in the middle. And actually, I've got a bit of watercolour card there. I'll show you that. I think it'll be nice for you to see that one working together so you can see what that looks like.
Ice lolly that you do in the summer, if you were like on holiday in like Sicily or somewhere like that, you know, like a delicious ice cream maybe.
It would look lovely, wouldn't it? I tell you what it reminds me of. You remember those fruit salad sweets?
Yeah.
Yes, it reminds me of those sweets. I do love those. I used to get bags of those when I was little. Fruit salads and blackjacks.
Oh, now that I have my fillings out.
I know, me too. Yeah, I couldn't eat them now. No, when I had all of my own teeth with no fillings in. Yes, that was definitely the best way. Now on this dry one here now, because I just want a nice subtle where the white is, and it's nice and dry, but I don't want to mess around with it too much. I've just got my brush damp, and I've got a little bit of the ink, just a tiny bit, and then look what I do. I just drag that along, and what it does for me is it just takes the intensity, doesn't mess with the pattern that I built up because I let it dry, but it just takes away the intensity of the white pieces and gives it more of an all over background feel. Can you see that? Because sometimes what you need to do is just stop, otherwise you lose the definition between the lumps of colour, lumps being a technical term, and then the white is a little bit too intense. So what I like to do is let it dry, and then just with a tiny bit and some water, go back over it. It fills in those white areas, and now it looks like a more complete designed intentional watercolour background, if you can see that there. And then you would dry this again. So I'm hoping that these techniques are interesting and useful for you, and I'm hoping that you're finding them. If you've got any questions, do let our Joe know and he'll ask me, and if I can show you, then I'll show you as part of what we're doing here. But the elements that you've got in this kit are fantastic for doing all of these different types of techniques. Just quickly, before I finish making a card, I want to show you what it would look like with the fabulous pink and blue together. Now guys, I know I like to waffle on forever, so you'll have to tell me what am I like for time? Do you need me to hurry up?
You've got all the time in the world, don't you worry about that.
Okay,
we'll
that's
stay
great.
here till 9 o'clock tonight if we need to.
Woo! You know what I'm like, Joe, I like to talk, so don't be telling us I can do that, otherwise I will have you all here. That's all right then. So I'm just dragging the pink on now, so you see I'm doing exactly here as I did before with the peach and the pink, which is one of my all-time favourite. I want some yarn in that colour, Joe.
We could.
We need to dye our own yarn, Joe.
Could we do it with these inks?
Yes, I think you could. Joe, I'm going to research that.
Well, let's just buy some regular yarn.
Well,
Because you can buy just
wool.
white.
It can't be acrylic.
Yeah, wool. So you can buy it undyed, can't you?
Yes.
And then, but have you seen it when they dye it and then they sort of cook it as well a bit?
Yeah, you steam it.
Like in a is it? Why do you steam it? I didn't know they got that.
It sets the dyes in the fibres.
Ah,
so
we
it
could do
doesn't
our
rinse
own.
out.
Oh.
Joe, we should do it.
Can you imagine? What are we going to make out of it though afterwards?
Well, I would make you a bubble hat.
Fabulous.
Now, I could have a matching scarf.
I can do you like I'm quite good at, you know, the infinity scarf. I'm quite good at those.
Oh, right. You make me an infinity scarf. I'll make you a bobble hat.
Fabulous.
We can go out shopping in town together.
Can you imagine?
Matching.
We'll be like the Posh and Becks of Durham.
Do you know what we need? We need leg warmers.
Yes.
We need leg warmers, Joe.
Yes,
in
we
these
do.
colours, and we'll look. Me with my scarf and my leg warmers. You with your bobble hat and your leg warmers into town shopping. It would look
Durham
immense.
is not going to know what to fit.
It really isn't. Now here we go. So I just wanted to show you how these other two colours went together, and the two different looks that you get. So you've got three colours, but look, you've got that lovely blue through to a violet through to a pink. And then you've got your lovely peach through to a more salmon into a pink. They look absolutely glorious, don't they? So they're the colours you're going to be able to get using those three fabulous Aqua Tint inks there. Now, the two backgrounds I've got, just to show you the different types of cards you could make with these, is using some fabulous dies that we've got. So I've got butterflies already cut out here, and then I'm going to cut some more because I want to show you how easy these are to cut out and how beautiful the results are. And notice all the time when I'm cutting my card to size, I'm using my Hero product and how effortless and easy they are. They are the best scissors in the history of the world ever. So I'm just going to cut two of the butterflies that come in that collection for you, popping them through my Junior. These butterflies from the Vintage Lace collection, I believe were like hen's teeth. I think they're sold out. I think they were just gone. You couldn't find them anywhere. And now we've got them in this bundle. And these are the butterflies that I have and use at home all of the time. They're absolutely exquisite in their detail. Oh, it slipped. Do you know what? It helps if you take your time, doesn't it, Joe? What did I say? More haste, less speed?
What? Is it more haste, less speed? Is it more speed, less haste? I don't know.
More haste, less speed. That's exactly what I've got.
I mean, the fact that I don't really know what the saying is would probably give you a good indication that I'm not very good at following it, I guess.
So maybe more haste, less speed, I think means, look, if you rush, you're going to make a mistake.
Yeah,
just take your time.
Methodical.
Take your time to start with, and then you won't have to do it twice, as I've just had to do.
Do you read instructions, Leanne?
I do.
Oh, I don't. I'm the worst for that.
Oh, my husband is a nightmare. Honestly. So do you know that Swedish shop where we get our furniture?
Where you get the meatballs at the end?
And you get the meatballs
in
at the
US,
end.
do you have
and
that
the Dime
one?
Bar cheesecake.
Oh.
With the loganberry jam on your meatballs. That place.
Oh, yeah.
When
Is there one near here?
Yes, there is one very near
Oh,
here.
we need to go. Those meatballs are just delicious.
I love the meatballs. Now, when we get furniture from there and we bring it home and it needs putting together, my husband rushes straight in, whips it out the box, and then sees what fits, right? He just starts putting things together in a completely random fashion, just winging it. And I'm like, stop it! Step away from the box. We are following the directions. I can't find my pokey tool. This is why I'm banging it on the desk, because I just couldn't find my pokey tool before. See if the tweezers will work. I've lost my pokey tool, which isn't good. Right, there we go. That's going to help, I think. Let's get this out here. Here we go. There we are. There we are. That's what I needed to do. And then we'll just poke all the little pieces out. You could emboss it as well if you want to, but I'm not going to. Would help if I had my pokey tool. Never mind. He rushes straight in, and that one hasn't worked. I'm just going to use the big one. That one didn't work. My fault, because I let it slide off the card. Again, more haste, less speed.
There is the Swedish flat pack furniture store is in several states apparently in the US.
Is it?
Yeah.
Now
the thing is though, if you go, I spend a lot of time in Sweden. I've got a lot of friends in Sweden, and Yeah, no one's really into that shop in Sweden, oddly.
Are they not?
No.
Why is that?
Yeah.
Really?
And you know the very Swedish brand of flavoured fruit cider that we have in the UK?
Yes.
Which brands itself as Swedish. They don't have that in Sweden.
They don't?
No, it is
What's
from
that?
Sweden, but it's not popular there.
Well, that's
How
very
strange is
bizarre.
that? I know, blew my tiny
Very
mind.
bizarre. Oh my word. Right, so I've got my two backgrounds. And I've got also, I like to use my watercoloured card to fold a card base. You might think that's a little bit extravagant, and it can be, but oh my word, it makes the most beautiful, crisp, textured, exquisite, expensive feeling card bases. So I folded my card base out of the watercolour card that comes in your kit, and then I've just nabbed a piece of matte silver mirror card from my stash, but you could use anything that you've got at home just to put a little matte layer on there. I'm then going to put on top of that this lovely background that I've just made. And I liked the silver matte mirror for that because some of these colours that I've put together from this Aqua Tint set are bringing out kind of like a lovely muted grey colour in with them as well as those lovely pops of colour. So I thought it went together very well. So there we go, I've done that background. Now you've also got some fabulous acetate in this kit. So I want to make a lovely acetate overlay on this card, which means I'm going to put a strip of my tape pen along the back of the card there. And then I'm bringing the overlay of the same size, folded in half over, gluing that at the back. So I've got my lovely acetate overlay on there. There we go. You can see, oh, there we are. I'll show you that way. There you go. Here we are. So you can see that there. And then what we're going to do is pop a butterfly on, but pop a sentiment on as well. Now for the sentiment, I think I'm going to use, should we go with a nice blue?
The droppers that you're using there, Leanne.
The what, sorry?
The droppers.
The droppers, yes, love.
The
pipettes.
Where can we find those?
They come in with a kit.
Oh, they come included?
Oh, they come in with your bottles, Joe. You
fabulous.
get 3 of them little bad boys.
Because people are asking questions about those. So
Yeah.
it's great to know that they're included. You'll get
they're
those.
included.
Fabulous.
They come in. We give you them in with the kit. Isn't that great?
That's really great.
Right, I've got this lovely save the date. Oh, send with love, I beg your pardon, save the date. I've got weddings on the mind, I don't know why. Sent with love sentiment included in here. So I'm running this through in a lovely shiny blue mirror because I think that'll stand out nice on there. So let's see if that's cut out. Yes, it has. So we've got scent, love. There we go.
Nice that it cuts them out separately for you.
It does,
Leanne, as
so
well.
you
So
can
if you want to use them
arrange them.
separate.
Yes, you can arrange them however you want. It's entirely up to you. Now we could leave it like that if we wanted to. Just leave it sent with love as it is and arrange it wherever you want on here, and that stands out really nicely, doesn't it?
That's gorgeous on
Or
that
we've
background.
also got, it looks lovely with the background, doesn't it? It stands out because the blue goes in with the bits of blue that we did in the violet. Or we've got this lovely matte and layer frame we can use, and we could do a little bit of shiny. Should we do a bit of shiny?
Shiny. Let's.
Oh, I see. You can even
Have you seen the film Moana? I can't even say
Moana.
it. Moana. Have you seen it?
I have seen it.
I like the shiny. Reminds me of the crab in Moana.
Oh,
You know the song that he sings,
yes,
that sings the song?
fantastic. I love
Yeah,
Moana.
I love that.
It's fab, isn't it? Do you know what? Ever since my son left home, since he was left home, since he stopped watching Disney movies.
Oh no, you're never too old to stop watching
my
Disney
husband
movies.
and I continue to watch the Disney movies because we just love them.
Fair. I don't think you're ever too old for Disney.
No. What
I'd
was
like
your
to
favourite,
rewatch
Joe?
them all again. I think from the very start.
What was your
Go
favourite?
through them. Oh, I really liked Into the Woods, the new one, which was Disney, but very new Disney, but classic Disney. I used to watch Pinocchio as a child every day when I was about 3 years old, and apparently I used to cry at it every day. Why would you? Well, my mum still played it to me. That sounds a bit menacing, but I do love that one. I do love Snow White as well, I must say.
Oh, mine, Joe.
Yeah.
Fox and the Hound.
Oh,
Love the Fox and the Hound. Peter Pan.
that's a great one.
Robin Hood.
Yeah. all solid ones there.
Yeah.
I love Panto as well, so I love that because a lot of the Disney ones are original fairy tales, aren't they? I don't think you have Panto in the US. Well, hopefully, you know, as we get closer to Christmas, maybe we'll explain to you the magic and the concept of Panto here in the UK, because it's like nothing you've ever heard or seen before. I'm just going to have to leave it there. Do a bit of Googling if you want to. Getting very busy, I must say, for this collection here as well. £30 in the UK gets you all of it, or $43. There's loads in here, so do snap it up whilst it's in stock.
Now, I've had an idea, Joe. It's dangerous, I know, but I've had an idea.
Are you crafting on the hoof?
I am crafting on the hoof, but that's not the idea I've had. The idea I've had is, how about we devise and create a crafter's panto?
Oh.
How about we actually go live with a pantomime?
Well, do you know what?
In the winter.
I hate to say, I think the idea may have been formulated, and I think you may have just dropped a massive spoiler, Leanne.
Oh my God, have I?
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that.
We had you earmarked to be the fairy godmother.
Oh, is that because I'm matronly and round? Why am I not Cinderella?
Well, we thought Sarah might be Cinderella, but you know.
Well, do you know, it's better than being one of the ugly sisters.
Yeah, I thought I'd be the Dane, obviously.
Fairy godmother suits me fine. I think I'd suit a mop hat, don't you?
Yeah, I think just with a tiara and a tiara, and what's the thing called you wave? Magic wand, that's it. I think you look great. Rather than a magic wand, maybe you could have a heat tool though.
Oh dear. Right, I've painted my butterfly to match. And then I'm just going to stick that on the front there. There we go. I cut that from watercolour card 2, which comes in your kit. And there we go. We've got an overlay with it. Now, I've got the other background to show you another way to use that. And we might have some time later to show you that at the end of this couple of hours that we've got, Joe.
Wonderful. Okay, let me just give you a really quick recap of what you're getting included, because you are getting lots in here, don't forget. You're getting, of course, the Aqua tints. Now, you're going to get these, and these are great. This is the perfect pastels that you're getting here in this collection. I'll just show you what that looks like. So this is what you're going to be getting. Within the perfect pastels, you get the Moonstone and the Cosmos and the Rose Quartz. You're also going to get the Kaleidoscope butterflies. I didn't realise till the other day that kaleidoscope is the collective word for a group of butterflies. Every day's a school day. So you've got that there. You're then going to get the spritz bottles included, and then you're going to get the watercolour cardstock, the heat-resistant acetate, and also that Scent with Love dye that you saw Leanne using there. So it's great that you get all of that included. So £30 if you're in the UK, $43 if you're in the US.
Right, so what I've got here to start with is a piece of matte mirror card, and I'm going to do a nice matte for the front of here. So I've got my guillotine.
I found it!
I nearly fell off my step.
Found it!
Oh my God, I nearly fell off my step.
Sorry.
I need to lie down. He's found his horn. Thank God he's found it. Hang on, I need a minute.
Oh, sorry, Leanne, didn't we startle you?
Startless. I nearly ended up in next week. And you haven't seen what's on the floor down here. I'm all right. Okay, we're back to where we need to be. Now what I'm going to do, I can't breathe, is measure the width of my aperture here. I'm all discombobulated. Thank you for that, Joe. I'm so pleased he's found his horn. I thought I'd hid it really well. Drat, I'll hide it better next time.
Oh, I think I got a good and proper, didn't I? Apologies to Leanne. She was fine afterwards. Don't you worry. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of giggles together in that show on Wednesday night. Now, Thursday was a mammoth day here at Crafters TV because it saw the monthly Sarah's Cartload show. Now, there was 5 hours of fabulous sales shows all day on Thursday, and I've gone through and cherry-picked some of the best deals for you to take a look. Remember, if you want to watch the whole thing back, then you can do that over on the website. Here's Sarah. Now, I want to take you through some of the Gemini foil press items that we've got for you. So what we've got here is the Gemini Stamp and Cut Creator Card Collection. It's the first time that you've seen it on Crafters TV. So I want to take you through the options that you've got. So the first one that you have is this one just here, which is the Baroque. So you can see you're getting that all of that lovely detailing there around the frame, and then it's also going to cut that out for you as well, which is fantastic. So take that from your foil press, pop it through your die cutting machine, and it will cut it out. This one is super, super gorgeous, really, really dainty and pretty, and you can see the way that foiling catches the light. That is the butterflies and blooms that you've got just there. The next one we have is the Art Nouveau, so you can see it's going to cut that beautiful frame for you and give you all of that gorgeous foiling. And then finally, the last one you're getting here is the Art Deco. So very inspired by all of those Art Deco themes that we have. Now, you can get the whole collection, or you can go for these two for £40 or $47. It's completely up to you. The best way to get the best value, of course, comes when you get that larger collection. Right, I'm going to hand you over to Sarah, who's going to guide us through everything that we can do with these.
Yes, I've got my favourite one out, Joe, which of course is the one with the gorgeous butterflies and flowers, and I'm so predictable, but at least all my cards look consistently gorgeous. That's all I can say about it, right? Now, as you look at these, can you see they're the darker grey metal, which means these are the ones that are going to stamp and cut at the same time. So when you bring your foil press in, what we're going to do is, for any stamp and cut ones, you're going to put the base plate on. Now, in your instruction manual, right? So this is the instruction manual. And what I want you to do is I want you to come and have a look. This is the sizes for foil stamp dies. This is for stamp and cut. Now, I'm going to do this onto just that little bit of black card, which means I'm going to do it on a 350 gram cardstock. It's a large die, so it's telling me I want 45 seconds. I don't know if you can see that there, but you are going to take it for 45 seconds. So what I do, I've got mine upside down just because of where my power cable is, and I'm used to demonstrating upside down, right? I take this all the way up to 39, 41, 2, 3, 4, 5, 45 seconds, right? You put your foil one on here, and you press the start button, right? Now, while that's busy warming up, I'm going to cut this so they're 5 inches square. So I'm going to cut my bit of cardstock to 5 inches square, so exactly the same size. I'm also going to cut myself a little bit of the foil to the 5 inches square, right? Now, think about this, right? The foil, as ridiculous as this sounds, you're going to put it face down. So the shiny side is going face down on your surface. Now, it's hard to see on the silver because it's obviously silver on both sides, but you can see it's dull on this side. So it's going to count down. Soon as we're getting the countdown, you're going to hear the beep when we get, so you can see when it goes down, 2, 1, there's that beep. So your foil goes face down, right? Then you put your cardstock in. Now, when it is the stamp and cut dies, then what you're going to do is you're going to add on your metal plate before you put the top plate. So it's your metal plate from your Gemini machine, right? Lift it out and it's going to go straight through your Junior. Now, I'm using the foil press with my Gemini Junior. If you want to use it with the larger Gemini, you just need to get the Gemini top extender plate, right? So all you need to do extra is get the top extender plate. Now what you'll see is this will have done all of the die cutting as well as all of the foiling. So if I take my foiling die off, right, as I lift this off, all of these pieces are going to pop through. So I'll pop these through before we do the big reveal, which is the exciting part. Get all these popped through. It's only actually stuck my foil where I need it to go, right? So it's only stuck the foil in the places that are really important, right? So all these parts here. And then what you're going to do is, two last little bits down here, right? We're going to then peel the corner off. And as we release this, can you see you've got that perfect transfer of the foil and all of the cut, And the piece that's left, this is going to make a fabulous background on its own. So you could then foil this onto another piece of cardstock and get a secondary background, so you can get a positive and a negative out of this, okay? So that is just onto some regular cardstock. Let's do another one. Let's pop it in, right? Let's start getting that one back up. Let's get one of the other dies on here, right? And it's the same size, so I'm going to do that for my 45. Oh, I'm going to press the start button, 45 seconds again. I'm going to do this onto a piece of mirror card. Actually, what I should have done is checked. If we're doing mirror card, oh, it's a minute. So I'm going to just leave it a couple of seconds extra when it gets to the minute. So mirror card is a minute. So all I'm going to do again is cut my mirror card down to 5 by 5. If you don't have the guillotines, guys, I don't know how you manage. They're an absolute must-have, right? I'm going to cut that foil to exactly the right size, right? I'm going to get all the sizing ready. Remember, because we're doing the stamp and cut, right, that was my 45. Oh no, that's not my buzz. That's my, we're counting down from 10 seconds. Don't know what that was. Oh, maybe that wasn't on temperature, right? Don't worry though, just going to give it a couple of seconds extra. There's the buzz. Don't give it longer than what it says in the instruction manual, unless you've done what I've done and you haven't counted the time right. You're going to read the instructions every time before you use it, okay? If we've said a minute, don't think, oh, I'll give it a couple of minutes just to be on the safe side. No, you don't want any over foiling, right? Over foiling is where you get foil in the places that it's not supposed to be and doesn't look very good, right? So trust me, the professionals, aka Leanne, has worked out exactly how long you need these to be in with all different surfaces at all different sizes. Just do what she says. Just do what she says and it'll turn out perfect. And do you know what? Give yourself a bit of a break. If you've never done foiling before, then don't worry, because you're going to be able to do this and you're going to be able to learn as you're going along, right? So look at this. I've done the foil. We're going to peel it off and I'm going to show it to that lovely close-up camera as well. You get that gorgeous reveal of the frame with all of the die cut piece in the centre. And then again, that piece that's left over, you can take this onto another piece of cardstock and be sticking yourself another frame, and all you do is run this through your foil machine, so the heat from there. So that is basically, in a nutshell, how easy these are to use. I'm going to show you a couple of samples, because once you've got beautiful foiled backgrounds, these become easy to do. Super simple cards. Do all different colours, right? So you've got all different colours. You can be inking through these. You can be, you know, once you get your foil on, ink past them, taking them onto different surfaces, not just about paper. These are going to go onto leather. They're going to go onto cotton, all of your man-made fabrics as well. And you can get some really out there beautiful foiled backgrounds. It's such a popular look at the moment, foiling. It really is. And these backgrounds are just going to enable you to take it to a completely new level.
I want to take you through some of the amazing deals we've got on our wrap dies. And I've got 3 different collections for you that I'm going to whiz through. However, I've got something very extra special at the end for you as well. So you've got the first collection, which is this one just here. So you're going to get in here Love Heart, which is that gorgeous one just there. You're also going to get Festive Bauble. You've got Daisy Delight, and also Candlelight. Now, £14 for those in the UK, $20, you're saving £17 or $30. So that is a fabulous deal on its own. We do have another one for you though, the Christmas collection, which is just here. Exactly the same pricing on this one. So you're going to get Forest Friends, which is great. You've got those lovely little Christmas animals within there. You've got Christmas Wreath. Now, these wrap dies are so great because they can go around your cards. You're going to get Christmas Tree. They can also go around things like bottles and presents. You can extend these. You've got Jingle Bells there as well. £14 or $20. Again, you're saving £17 or $31. And I've got one more collection for you. This one is you've got Beautiful Butterfly, which is this one here. You've also going to get Sweet Treat, Ornate Cross, and also Elegant Swans. And again, you've got a great saving on that one, over 55% off. However, we're going to do something extra special. Let's change those details and let's give you the complete collection. So what we're going to do is we're going to charge you for that one. We're going to charge you for that one. But when you get all 3 together, we're only going to charge you half price for that one, which is great, but we're going to give you 2 more that you can only get in this collection. So you're also getting Snow Family, and you're going to get Santa's Sleigh. So for that price of £35 or $50, you're getting 14 dies. You're saving £76. You're saving $130 on this. It's why it is so busy already. I'm going to pass you over to Sarah. She's going to guide you through exactly how you're going to use these.
Yes, Joe, let me show you why these wrap dies are so awesome, okay? You can take any card that might look pretty ordinary to begin with, but can you see it's been wrapped with an extra set of designer, like a die cut on here. So this one here, can you see it? It's the butterfly. And what we've done is we've taken a butterfly from either side of the card. This one cuts down from the top. This one cuts up from the bottom. You don't need to worry, the die does all of this. So that when you connect the 2 of them together, they form that perfect wrap around the card. Now, tons of designs as you saw. So whether you're wanting to wrap them with the butterfly, love this one here with the gorgeous little daisy, how they just wrap around. And it's not just about cards. You can be doing them on cards. You can be doing these as little closures on your, well, on so many different things really. I've done them on boxes. I've used a lot for, here's a box I've got, I can show you here. This is one of the Christmas ones. I've done them as like little napkin wraps as well. So can you see, it just gives what was a lovely box to begin with that wrap around. It doesn't have to be Christmas bells, this one. It would make a lovely kind of wedding design. Gives you the extra wrap around there. Once you nail the technique on these, wrap dies will become like your new favourite thing, and everything will get an extra little wrap. The envelope that you put it in gets an extra little wrap, right? Now, I'm going to show you just exactly how these work first of all. So if I just get a piece of cardstock and just trim a little bit off the end, right? That'll do. I think that'll do for the size of me. I think that might have been a really good guess actually. Now I've taken, was that a really good, oh, it was a good guess, right? This is the heart one, for example. Now, can you see when you look, it shows you what it's going to look like. You've got all the instructions on there as well, but one side does the left, one side does the right. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and I'm just showing you on a random piece of cardstock here, okay? I'm going to pop it on the edge of a piece of cardstock. Now, these are such a great size that they'll even fit through your Gemini Mini, right? So, if I pop this down, bring in my Gemini Mini, and you just see one little roll through the machine, and it's going to do all of that die cutting for you. So when I lift this off now, right, just give it a little pop through. If you've got your pokey tool, all these little extra pieces just kind of fall out. They're really beautifully detailed dies, okay? So you're going to poke all these extra pieces out. If I give them a flick, we might get them going a little bit faster. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take the other side one, and that is going to go at the other side of your card. Now you can do these on as long a piece of card as what you want, right? I've just done these on a shorter piece, but long enough to demonstrate for you how we're going to connect all this together, right? So now I'm going to cut the heart at the other side and send this through the Mini. So you just imagine, I mean, I cut this to what, about 8 inches, this piece of cardstock. But if you're using your 12 by 12 card, you're going to get a lovely size that's going to wrap around like a larger card or something. So all these little hearts out the middle. I know I haven't sat and done all the poking out. I feel under loads of pressure to show you this quite quickly, but it's because I want you to see just how easy it is, right? Now, these are designed, as you can see, with no cutting edge on this part here, which means this has stayed connected in the card, which means I can make these as long as you want, because all you do then is basically come along and connect the 2 pieces, right? And you're going to cut them off, and generally this part here anyway is going to be wrapping around the back of your card. So if you imagine that's got a card that's going to wrap around the back, and then the pieces come around the front, and you can see how that connects together to make that lovely heart shape that goes on the front of the card, or a nice wrap around a napkin ring, for example. And I obviously did that on a small piece. I'm going to show you we could do exactly the same on a large piece. They are so incredibly easy to do, right? So any size you want, you're going to do the cut at one end, the cut at the other end, fold it around your card and wrap it. And people always say to me, how long do I need to know how to make the piece of card to start with? All I would say is wrap the card around your card, wrap the strip of card around your card to begin with. So you can see this is a really small one that's just going to wrap around a napkin ring. If I do a larger sheet of cardstock, right? So if I get, it's a nice matte blue shade. And I'm going to do the same again. I'm going to cut it wide enough. Just do that same die again. I've got that one handy, right? So I'm just going to cut a longer strip here. And we do exactly the same. We take one die and put it at one end. And we're going to pop this into our die cut. Oh, here we go. And you're going to send it through. And what I love is, even these all fit in the mini machine, so they become super quick and easy. I know for a lot of you, you'll have your big machine, lives up on a on the shelf somewhere or whatever, but your mini machine is out handy on the on the worktop. Well, what I would say is, you've got that mini machine and you have it out. Why not make a wrap for every one of your cards? For every one of your envelopes could have a little wrap going on there as well. It's as simple as one side die cut, other side die cut, right? There we go. I'm going to just reverse that out. And then all we do is we bring these here, and you see, and we're just going to connect one side, connect the other side, and now we've got a larger band that would go around the back of a card. Connect these together, so it's got that die cut piece, and you can see that would be perfect, for example, to go on a nice 4x6 card. But that's just me totally eyeballing this, but it just shows you how you can do little tiny mini ones or the larger ones. Now, I'm going to run you through those bundles again and what's coming in each one. So remember, you can go for just one of the smaller bundles. I'll pop the details up on your screen for the smaller bundles, right? And so you could go for this first set, gets you the beautiful cross die. And to give you a bit of an idea, here is like, here is one of the ones there done with the beautiful cross, or here is another one. These would be brilliant for confirmation cards, or perhaps they would be good for wedding cards or sympathy cards, anything, any occasion like that. Anyone who's a religious person, I think it's just nice to have that cross included in there. We've also got the butterfly in this collection. So you saw me showing you the butterfly on the front of a card here, where the front and the bottom just connect up together. In this set, you've also got these beautiful swans, right? Elegant swans, they're called. And again, if I just show you a nice one with the elegant swans on, I love this with a bit of a contrasting colour. So you've got like a connector piece and then the swan on it. So that again, they just connect around the connector and then the swan's coming out to the end. And the last one in this set is the gorgeous cupcake as well. Brilliant for kiddie cards, right? So there's the first one, all right? Now, the next set we've got is our Christmas collection, which I'm going to get this one over here, okay? So that's where we have the bells. So you saw those beautiful bells on the front of here. We also have the fantastic Christmas wreath. So if I turn it this way, you'll see you've got the left and the right, and I'll try and bring in, here's the cards with the Christmas wreath and how they connect together. And even the band is all Christmassy as well, okay? Then you get the Christmas tree, which is just so super clever. Let's see if I can find a Christmas tree on one of these. There's one. He's a fabulous Christmas tree. Or you can do them. Here's a one where we've done the Christmas tree in the green to go with the white on here, right? And then the very last, and I've lost one. I've lost one in this set. I wonder if you're here. Oh yes, I've got all mixed up, guys. But who gives a monkeys? Because I know you're all going for the big collection, right? There's the Christmas bauble in there as well. Then we've got the other set, which has got your lovely, it's got the hearts in, it's got the sunflowers in as well. It's also got candlelight, your Daisy Delight in this one. So there's a couple. I've lost a couple of my boards on the way past here, but let's have a look. There's the lovely candlelight one. There's your Daisy one that we were talking about. You saw those lovely hearts that I had as well. The hearts just look amazing. Hearts are one of my favourite ones. I think you can do any sort of card with the hearts. But the way to go for it really is that complete collection, because essentially you buy 2 sets, you get the third one half price, and we've thrown in those couple of bonus extras. This one works out, have a look at this, at over 70% off. So they're already great deals if you go for the 4 together, but then you go for buy 2, get the third one half price, couple of extras thrown in, 70% savings, so only £35 or $50. £35 or $50. I'm just going to let that settle in. What a deal to get the wrap dies, and everything you're doing, every project you do, why not stick a wrap around it?
Now, something that's always popular when we bring it to you here at Crafters TV is the Gemini Mini, and it is no exception today. And this is the deal that a lot of you wait for, because the Mini machine on its own is a fabulous little workhorse that you can craft on the go wherever you like. $29.99 is what you'd pay for that, and you'd get the instruction booklet, you'd get your shim, and you'd get the plastic folder included, which is fabulous. However, today you'd normally pay another $12.99 to get the carry bag included. However, as part of this deal, what you've got here is that carry bag included as well. So that's going to house your Gemini, that's going to go in there. You're going to be able to fit all of your plates in there as well, and it means then you're going to be crafting on the go absolutely anywhere you want to. You've got some room for your pokey tools, you've got some adhesives in there, you can get some of your dies in there as well. This is the deal that a lot of you hold out for. Now, talking of dies, maybe you're going to want some beautiful dies to go with your Gemini Mini. 2 different die collections for you. So we've got the one which is the Tea Party and Butterflies, which is this one just here. So in here you're going to get that gorgeous cupcake, which is lovely. Try different colour ways on that, it's going to work wonderfully. You're also going to get the butterflies, and also you're going to get this one here, which is the party. I've seen some really lovely concept cards made using different colour balloons, especially birthday cards. It works really well. There is another one for you, another collection, which is this one just here. Now in here, you get the gorgeous flowers. You're also going to get the celebration cake, and you're going to get this gorgeous dragonfly as well. I didn't realise until recently, dragonfly signals new beginnings, apparently. That's why we're seeing a lot of it at the moment. And then though, if you want to get those 2 together, which is fantastic, get them both together, because then what happens is 40% saving, and you get the rainbow as well. And the rainbow, the only way to get it is, of course, in this configuration. This is my favourite one out of all of them, so I'd hate for you to miss out on that. And is this the one that you're going to be taking us through, Sarah?
Yes, I'm going to show you how to use the little rainbow. How gorgeous is that little card? And very, very apt, of course, at the moment. Very topical at the moment. I don't know about you, Joe, but we've got rainbows up all over our house. Whether they're drawing, whether it's colouring, now you'll be able to make little cards with rainbows on. What about making these little cards for like for our NHS workers? If you've got a friend or a neighbour, someone who lives nearby, you could make them this and leave it on the doorstep. Oh, I love it, right? So these are the 3 die sets that I'm using for that collection there, right? I'm going to do the rainbow first. Now these are brilliant, these dies, for using up little scraps of paper, right? So because they all fit in the Mini, they're great for kids too. I mean, I just love the idea. I'm going to take this set home after we finish tonight and let the kids have a go with this. And you see, you could be doing the rainbow, you could be doing it any colour you want, and you can be doing it different every pass through. So watch this, right? Pop this through. I'm going to send this through. The Gemini Mini, by the way, is just a stellar machine. If you do not have the Gemini Mini, I'm telling you now, today is the day to get it while we've got that deal on it, right? Because you're getting that free bag. It is amazing, right? So we've got all of basically you're getting enough to make 7 rainbows in each one. So we'll do the pink. We'll take this straight over and do the blue ones here. Oh, I can feel a bit of a song coming on. No, we're not going to sing for you. Don't be waiting for that, because it's not coming, right? But you see how easy that mini is to use every time I'm taking it, right? Let's have a look. There's my outer, couple of inners. You get me bits coming off there, guys. Here we go. So we've got the outer, the next one. I wonder what it is about kids and rainbows as well. My little 3-year-old, bless him, all he wants to do is sit and draw and colour rainbow or paint. He loves to sit and paint rainbows, right? So all you're going to do is you're going to continue to cut these in every colour under the rainbow. And then you can see, you take these rainbows and you basically build them up on your card. So, and you're going to lift off there. I'm going to try and hold them, pop them all out, and then go on, put them all down there, all in one go, Sarah. I'm trying so hard to be organised about these, right? So, there's, you can see, you're going to do that with every colour, right? So you get enough to make loads of little rainbows as we're going along. I'm only going to make one for my card, right? So, get my card. I've just done the card ready, and all I've done is mat and laid a little bit, right? And I'm going to start. Let's have a look. I've got, should we get a nice pink one on the top, right? So I know roughly what size I'm going to do. And watch this, I'm just going to put plenty of tape around there. And I'm going to put it on with the dotty one, knowing that I can rub away any excess that we get left here, right? So plenty of tape on. And I'm going to start with the pink. So this is going to go, oh, I tell you what, you've nailed that there, Sarah. It's got that perfect, right? The next one, we come in with the next one down. So the blue is the next size down, and that is just going to fit. Oh, I haven't quite got you lined up at the bottom. It's just going to fit perfectly nested underneath there. Then the next one, I'm going to come with the next size down. Is this the next? No, that's the big one. I'm going to come with the next size down with the purple one. Is this the next size? Yes, it is. So you can come all the way down. Yep, and you just edge into there. I love the little purple one. Absolutely love it. Then I've also done some in a bit of lime green, right? So I've got my lime green one going to come in next. Looking fab there. Bit of yellow. So I've got a yellow one on there now as well. We can add the yellow one. Now bear in mind, this is the die set. Let's just get some extra tape in here. This is the die set that is coming as a bonus. So if you go for all of the Gemini mini dies, you're going to get this absolutely free. And how many of you out there are not just thinking about yourself here? How many of you are wanting to order this and have it sent direct to the grandkids' house or to a neighbour who's just getting into card making? You can buy the Gemini mini, for example, and have it sent to a different address, right? You could buy the Gemini mini and all these dies and have it sent to a different address so that you've got someone, brilliant way for someone just getting into card making. Fantastic little care package. So look at that. I used the dotty one so that I could rub them all the way afterwards. I've got it slightly over to there, but it doesn't matter, right? Then what you've got on the rest of this die, we've got a sun, a snowflake and a cloud. So I've actually just die cut myself a couple of little clouds out of a bit of that white Centura pearl we've got in the set. And I've done myself a sun, so I've got the outer sun and the inner sun in a different colour. It's all about using up scraps, this one, right? So all I'm going to do is a couple of little globules of 3D glue, because obviously the clouds would go beautifully well at the edges of the rainbow. Oh, I love this card. I absolutely love this one. I just think it's a nice, easy one. Brilliant for beginners as well. So I'm going to stick my base part of my sun down flat. I'm going to have this over in the corner. And I'm going to raise up that little bit in the centre so that my sun gets a little bit of 3D-ness going on, right? Now you've also got that set which has the bugs in. So this is the set that has the butterflies and the bugs. Let me show you what they look like when they're laid up. So you get the dragonfly, the butterfly and the ladybird, but they're multiple layers of each one. So can you see within the butterfly, right, you're going to be able to do the base butterfly and the laid up butterfly, right? And actually, look at this. I could use this on the edge of here. So let's just get this off here. If you wanted to do some different types in different colours, let me just make sure that butterfly is all covered. In fact, we'll put the die down. We'll put the cardstock over the top And watch how quick and easy these are to do. So all I do is bring that mini in. It's always sticking down easily every time. So I'm using literally my leftover scraps off my rainbow. So there's one base butterfly. And then if I turn it round, should we try and do the other base one in the blue? That's just going to fit nicely over there. I'm going to shut that down again. Don't have your excess bits of carding like I almost did there. You definitely want them taking out. I'm going to get my base butterfly, but it's one die. They're all connected so that it just becomes really easy to work through, right? So if I lift this up, there's my purple one, there's my blue one, little pokey tool here, and just pop these out. How ridiculously delicate are these? They are just gorgeous. So you see that there, and again, all you do, a little bit of tape into the middle, and we can build up a 3D butterfly. So there's my actual butterfly itself, right? But then, if you saw on the die as well, you also had this bit of the butterfly left over. I've already done one of these in black. So I'm just going to take this, tape on this one too. The black bit's going to go down the middle, and I'm going to pop this on the top right hand corner of the card. They're just nice, easy, fun cards to make these. The dies are just designed to be nice and fun. And then I've actually done, so can you see, you get the thank you die. So this is the one that's thank you so much. So all I've done is I've decided to die cut out the thank you, and I'm going to just put a little bit of dotty tape pen all over the back. And there we go. Do you know, this would be a nice one? Somebody who's maybe been doing a bit of shopping for you, or giving you a hand, or popping in on you. How lovely if you want to just make them a very topical card at the moment. Just a nice little thank you. How super simple and easy is that one, right? That is using a couple of different bits of die sets from all of the sets that we've got. But that rainbow is the die that is coming absolutely free when you get the complete bundle. Now, if you're not sure what to go for, the Gemini Mini is a must. While we've got it on this offer, while you're getting triple points here, the Gemini Mini is an absolute must to take advantage of, okay? These beautiful dies are a great, if you get the starter point, you've got a little bit of everything, right? And do think of this as a gift, not just something maybe for you, okay? So you've got the details there. This is one of those ones that I would definitely say don't miss out on. These are the sort of cards you're going to be making.
Oh, it was a mammoth day here on Thursday for all of those Sarah's Cartload shows. If you want to watch and shop at the same time, whilst you can join the conversation here on Facebook, the website's the best place to do that, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu. Now, as well as this being pretty much a brand new show here on Crafters TV, there's another new show that we bring you now every Friday at 11 AM called Colour Me Happy, and we look at a whole plethora of different colouring mediums. This time it was the turn of the sparklings.
Happy Easter!
Don't forget, you can download a lot of the imagery that Sarah is using on our website. You need to go to the website crafterscompanion.co.uk and go to /Colour Me Happy. The details are along the bottom of your screen just here on how you can get hold of that. Make sure you download it. It's completely free to download, so definitely grab it. Just make sure you've got some nice paper to print it out onto, and I'll be able to furnish you with some of that a little bit later in this show. what I really want to share with you is the details of the Spectrum Noir Sparkle Pen Starter Collection. You've got an incredible deal on this, £25 or $33. Now, it's a sparkle pen starter collection, so you're going to need some sparkle pens. In here, we're going to include for you aquamarine, amethyst, and also pink garnet as well. So you've got those included. You're going to need something to colour onto. So what we've done is we've included the Spectrum Noir watercolour pad. Now within here, you've got 20 sheets. So that's going to keep you going for a good while. Now, as well as this, you've got a couple of extra additions. So a lot of you maybe already have stamps. We're going to pop a stamp in there to get you started. And this unicorn one lends itself so beautifully to all of the magical sparkles you've got in your sparkle pens. And then we're going to give you a finesse waterproof ink pad as well in the pebble grey. Now you get all of that for £25 or $33. So it really is an incredible deal. Now, a lot of you I know may be thinking, well, I love that, but I would like even more. So we've got even more for you. We've got a bumper pack, and it's going to be exactly the same as what I've just shown you here, but we're going to give you 6 additional packs of pens. So we're going to give you the vintage tones. You've also got autumn winter in here. There is spring summer. You've got floral garden. There is nature trail, and also coastal cottage. Now that, if you're going for the Discovery collection, if you go for the bumper kit, it's an extra £75. However, it's an extra £150 worth of value. So definitely the best value is in this larger collection. Now, Sarah is standing by. She's on hand to take you through all the wonderful things you're going to be able to do with these sparkle pens.
Well, what I want to do first of all, Joe, is just take you right back to basics and show you how to prime the pen. So if this is the first time you're getting one of our sparkle pens, it's going to come, and can you see it's got this little like yellow bit on it. That's because what we've done is, let's have a look, I'll just lift it off first. You've got the mixing chamber, you've got the chamber that holds all of the ink, and this comes basically already sealed, so that none of the ink will evaporate, will disappear, will go anywhere while they're in transit. So what happens is when you first get it, you're going to take that little ring off and you're going to squeeze the top of the pen onto the base. Then give it a bit of a shake. So you shake it to wake it. You can hear them little ball bearings. Can you hear them? Put them up against my bike. Hear them little ball bearings whizzing around, okay? When you've done that, oh, can you see it's already got it going? You've got a push button here, but the ink has already started flowing through that chamber into the nib of the pen. So give it a little push to get some ink coming down, break the seal on the nib, and then look at that gorgeous, look at the gorgeous ink. And it's nice because it's a brush nib, you can do very fine or you can do very wide pieces, right? Do little flicking techniques. There's so many things you can do. The nib of these pens are off the chart amazing. Now, in that starter pack, you get 3 shades. So you get the blue, the purple, and the pink, right? So this is the 3 shades here. I know you see them on the top of the pens, but it's nice to see them actually coloured out in real life. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do this card here. Okay, so that unicorn is also in your starter kit. It's a fantastic technique, this. The unicorn is coming, Joe, as like a full stamp set. So again, for anybody who's completely new to our stamps, these are unmounted rubber stamps. So what you're getting is, you're getting loads of different stamps on here. And the unicorn, all you're going to do is we're going to cut around it. So cut relatively close, not too near. If you look, I'm not being overly precise with these, Joe, but I'm getting kind of a good starting point on here, right? So you're cutting in. The correct technique, if I tell you exactly, is that you should angle your scissors inwards a little bit, right? So that you don't cut the rubber too close to the edge. So quite close, but not too close. So maybe it's about 1/8 of an inch. As a minimum. Cut around the unicorn head. And if you look at this, you've got lots of other stamps on this set. So in each collection, you can see here we've got a couple of the silhouette unicorns, the big one that we're going to work with, some gorgeous butterflies, and believe in the magic, one of a kind, okay? So I'm going to put these to one side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make this sticky. I do it with our stick and spray, right? Stick and spray is a repositionable adhesive. So what it means is I can give this bit of a spray on the back, that then becomes sticky, and it means that I can put this onto anything that I want to stamp with. And actually what I'm going to do is use one of our stamping platforms. Now you can stamp with absolutely anything you want, right? I find the stamping platform quite easy to do. And we're going to pop this down, and I'm going to get some watercolour card again. Watercolour card is in that set. I want you to have the best results. So I'm giving you the best inks, I'm giving you the best pens, I'm giving you the best paper, and I'm giving you some beautiful stamps. Everything you need to get started, right? Now watch what we're going to do. We're going to take those pens, right? And we're going to just colour in our stamp. So I'm going to start colouring up the nose, just like you would if this was an ink pad, right? Little bit of colour onto the base here. I'm going to go purple into the blues, and it's like you're just stamping with ink. That's the best way I can describe it, okay? Putting plenty of ink on here, and you can even mix those colours. So I'm going to mix the blue into a little bit of pink here. I'm going to mix the pink out into the purple, and you've got all of this beautiful ink on there. All right, let's just get a bit of extra purple coming around the edges here, and it just makes our blue, if I do the blue over the purple, it's going to make my blue a little bit brighter. Now, it looks like a bit of a mess at the moment, and by the way, what you can do with these is, while you've got different colours, so can you see I'd essentially got a bit of purple onto my blue, just squeeze it through so that it's all now cleared right through, so you don't get contamination of colours. Now, just the best tip I can give you is just pick it up and breathe onto it a little bit, right? And it just kind of ignites that colour ready to go. So I'm going to stamp my unicorn into the middle of the card, right? There it is. Now, you could leave it and it would look wonderful, right? Or what we can do is, while it's wet, you can either use a clear sparkle pen or just a brush with a little bit of water, right? And we can just start and drag out a little bit of this colour, right? So the fact that I've waited for it to dry a little bit means that you're still going to get the detail coming through here. So I don't want to lose the detail. Notice I just keep pulling the water off the tip here. Don't want to lose the detail that we've stamped in here, but I do want to just get a bit of kind of blending of colours. I don't want just the inked image. I want a little bit coming around the back. Doesn't that look absolutely amazing, right? So we've got that little bit of colour going. A little bit more water on here, and like I said, it's up to you if you want to do it with the a clear sparkle pen, or if you want to do it with a little bit of water on a brush like I'm doing here, okay? And all you're doing is literally just softening all those shades and colours. How incredibly easy is this to do? Anybody could do this, and it looks so incredibly artistic, right? You can always go back in at any point, re-wet, rework that imagery to get this just exactly as you want it. So there's my horse coming down the base with a beautiful mane. That, I think, looks so incredibly artistic. And the one that I'd finished, so a little bit more blue on this one, all I'd done to get those little flecks around the outside, okay, this is our one here, is you can just take one of your colours, so your blue, and you can literally just fleck the colour straight from the pen. Can you see? Straight from the pen all over the background, and you get that lovely explosion of colour. Again, this is where we've left that to dry, and you can see that absolutely gorgeous effect.
Oh, we love getting colourful on a Friday here at Crafters TV. Now, if you are going back to look for that on the website, do remember you can watch the whole show if you want to. All of our Crafters TV shows live there on our website. And if you are shopping for this show, there's a new feature under Best Of, so you can actually filter it out by the day and find all the great deals that you are looking for. Now, I have had a wonderful time bringing you the Best Of show. I am definitely going to return to hot cross buns and Easter eggs, and I will see you back here with Sarah on Monday when we've got another Sarah special coming your way at 11 AM here in the UK, or 6 AM if you are on the East Coast. I hope you have a fabulous Easter, and I'll see you back here very soon.